Yeah, Indians, niggas, same thing.
Yep. Wild Indian, yeah.
Hey V, line them up.
I'm a wild Indian, you know I go crazy. Ain't really Indian, that boy fugazi. I just keep it player, you can never play me. You got an ass so fat, girl, let's make a baby. And another one. Then I'm back to the trap, I'm trying to double some. She a bad woke chick and I love her tongue. We some jurisdiction boys, we some 101s. Look, don't compare me to no Martin dog, I'm like Malcolm X. Die by our freedom, we'll leave a crack and stretch. Round of applause, boy, you know we clapping checks. Chucky dog, child play, yeah, nigga, that's what's next. Open up the cans just like Arizona. Pull up masked up like we got the Rona. We set up jurisdictions when we buy the corner. How you claiming that's your hood and you not the owner? Be the B, I just pulled up in the need for speed. Free the land, tell the colonizers that they need to leave. Wild Indian up in my veins, you know how we bleed. You ain't gotta lie about who we is, dog, just keep it G. We at war, we can't keep the peace. Since we at war, gotta keep the peace. Whack a cone, then I meditate. Should I need to breathe? Keep a Olmec head when we slide, dog, cause we the shit.
Like my niggas said, bitch, we the shit. I can't keep the peace. If it pop off, then I want a piece. I'm just on release. I'm in go mode, motherfucker thieves. In these streets like EBT, when we at war, make peace with me. I don't give a damn, understand. Fuck who stole this land, white or black or tan. Understand, it's fuck who stole this land. Might have seen me get little buddy these hands. He wasn't no abo man. A lot of these dudes is Sambo man. They full of shit like my ammo can. What they call an N-word out the wrong mouth, that's an ambulance. Wild Indian, get it in advance, or you can post date it. Ask around, I'm the most hated. Straight sacred, they stole acreage. Go ape shit, show ain't shit. It won't be televised, I don't tape shit.
Be the B, I just pulled up in the need for speed. Free the land, tell the colonizers that they need to leave. Wild Indian up in my veins, you know how we bleed. You ain't gotta lie about who we is, dog, just keep it G. We at war, we can't keep the peace. Since we at war, gotta keep the peace. Whack a cone, then I meditate. Should I need to breathe? Keep a Olmec head when we slide, dog, cause we the shit.
Little bro done pulled up. Yeah, man. What up, boy?
What's up, my boy?
Come on, man. Let's hey.
The moment you realize it's people that you love that you gon' have to leave behind. I was told out. Look, we at war, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though. Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though. Could've completed, but you get deleted. Some people are defeated, so you feel deleted. And knowledge is medicine, know when you need it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you cheated. You think I'm conceited, I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Everybody can't go though, beat it. You was ascending and starting to win. No pretending, actually win. Low vibrations boxing you in. Who keep letting them toxins in? All my people are toxin us. Everyone on our toxin land. Ancient like cosmology. I am the source, I go within. I can't go unless I go to win. Really a God supposed to win. Anyone that's trying to get with me, just start doing the most you in. Trying to turn up, it goes to 10. Blood type O, you almost in. Minarchin, we all go in. G, I'm a rule, we all go in. Bring you the water, but can't make you drink. No, I'm not here to just make you think. If anything, I'm here to just make you fight. It's all lost, just make it right. Everybody ain't with it. Let me tell you, I don't like reading. Freedom ain't free, you broke, I get it. Let me tell you, you don't like breathing. Can't even wake you up, you sleeping. Niggas are sleeping, scalping season. Some of y'all sleep through all this treason. Government beefing, now you vegan. Need autonomy, really don't need them. Now we rise, this house is freedom. Really gon' hurt my heart to leave them. Really gon' hurt my heart to leave them. This is assimilation or a cycle. They be hating on you for survival. That's why I don't mess with the Bible. Ain't nobody tribal going viral. We original, we hold the title. Lot of work to do, how you idle. Ain't no false idols in they bio. We ancient for ancient in Ohio. Say what you want and do what you do, but I'm starting to get, I don't know about you. Gotta go within, can't go on YouTube. If you think you know, you ain't got no clue. Say what you want and do what you do, but I'm starting to get it, I don't know if you do. Gotta go within, can't go on YouTube. You thinking you know, you ain't got no clue. War, we at war. Everybody can't go though. Some of us vibing high. Everybody can't go though. Some of y'all might leave family behind. Everybody can't go though. Could've completed, but you get deleted. Some people are feeded, so you feel deleted. And knowledge is medicine, know when you need it. If everyone go, I'ma know that you cheated. You think I'm conceited, I'm feeling completed. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Life is a game and I'm planning to beat it. Look, gotta be. Look, everybody can't go though, beat it.
Yo, Trap, what's happening? I'm just trying to make sure everybody can hear me. Let me mic check. Can y'all hear me? Hear me? Y'all good? Can y'all hear me? Somebody put something in the chat. Let me know y'all can hear me. I got my brother Bones in the building. Bones, say something, Bones. Let them know. Okay, y'all can hear me. Listen, y'all. Can't say something, Bones. Let them know. Okay, I see my brother Bones in the chat.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Mic check. Okay. We up in here, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Right now, man. Like my spirit feels so good right now. And I'm going to tell you, man, this is a hell of a time to be indigenous to the land. Hell of a time to be an Indian. Hell of a time to be a North American Aboriginal. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to all of us. And let me tell you why my spirit is so high right now, because I know the tide is changing. I know the shift is here. You feel what I'm saying? I'm watching the shift. And I'm going to tell you what happened earlier today, right? So my sister right here in the chat, her name is Break Room 411. Y'all go check that sister's channel out, and y'all check this lady is so funny. She is so funny. She funny as hell. Don't get on her bad side because she will roast the shit out of you. All right. So she's a beast. But this is my sister right here, man. And I missed her live yesterday, okay? But she did a live today, and it just spoke to me because many of us right here in this chat have put in the work out here, put in this work to tell the truth about our story on this land, and to tell the truth that, okay, at some point we got to wake up from these old same stories that we've been taught all our lives. And we've been getting these same stories with no pushback. They've been telling us these same stories. They've been trying to push us off our land for the longest. They fed us all this Africa stuff, and you know what I'm saying? They fed us all this Africa stuff, and we ate it for a long time. A lot of our people ate it for a long time. And now what you're seeing is a shift in the tide. So my sister went live today, and she began to talk about how excited she is because she's been digging into her genealogy of her family, and she's seeing the truth of her people, and she's excited about it. And when I heard her talking that, I said, yo, I'm excited for you, sis. Like, I'm excited for you, because that's what we about, is genealogy, digging into your family and learning about us being lied to. Okay. Now, of course, you still got these people out here that still want to push Africa on everybody. But see, what's happening is that Africa ship has sunk. That Africa ship that thing is underwater. People are not falling for the Africa thing no more. And even inside of her chat, now I believe maybe yesterday was the first time she even spoke on this type of topic in her chat. I believe this was like the first time she ever even spoke on this in her chat. And then she came back today to speak on it again. Okay. Y'all got to excuse me because I'm at work. Uh, so she came back today, I think, to speak on it again, just to, kind of explain how excited she still is about this situation. Well, of course, you're gonna have some people still trying to push Africa. They still want to push Africa on everybody, because that's what they're programmed to. They're programmed to believe Africa. So I got my brother Bones, because I'm at work. So I can't, I'm not the greatest with dates and, and all of this, I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking it though. You get what I'm saying? So I brought my brother Bones to the table. Y'all know me, hey, me and Bones, we stay doing work together. You feel what I'm saying? Because I am at work. I think Bones is out of town right now though. So I don't even know if he'll be able, and then I'm on my phone too, y'all. So I don't know how to pull up, references and all of that stuff, but I'm sure as we talk, Bones can actually tell you, maybe the dates and stuff that you need to go look up some things. Now, what we're going to address. Now, we was on a live for about 6 hours today, if I'm correct. We was on this live for about 6 hours today. Now, what we're going to address is some of the things that were put out there. It's debunking that out of Africa theory. No disrespect to Africans, but even they ain't African. Come on, the real Tantanus defense. Come on, man. We got to
Well,
get
I'm
this
glad you
shit together.
said that, Callie.
Come
I'm
on,
glad you said that. We're going to start this one off with a haymaker. Knockout
come
punches
on.
only. The only people that call them people Africans, so people who come from America.
People
Rest
that
of the
come
world don't
from
call them
America.
Africans because we was taught over here to call that Africa. Some people don't go by that. They go by whatever their nation is, whether it be Congolese, Somalian, Ethiopian, Nigerian,
Right.
Cameroon, Egyptian. Some people don't call themselves Africans. I mean, sometimes we got to start using common
Facts.
sense.
They don't. They don't. So the thing that we're gonna start out with some things. Um, First of all, let's deal with Bones. Let's deal with the 1968 Indian Civil Rights Act. Okay. Now, this person that came on the live today wants us to believe that this was not about us. This was about us fighting for the Native American Indians with the TPs out west. This was about us fighting for them. Okay. I'm trying to explain to her the movement, the Civil Rights Act was about the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which we know today as HUD or Section 8. Okay, so I'm trying to explain to her about the Indian rights, and I'm trying to show her you got to make it make sense. Why would Africans be fighting for Indians? And if we're the fake Indians, okay, if we're the fake Indians of the land, and why would we be fighting for the Indians on the reservations who didn't even show up to the fights? They didn't show up to the fight with us. We was getting bit by dogs. We were getting hung. We were being disrespected. Okay, we were being disrespected while they sat on the reservations. Well, she said, "Come on, man, they were only 3%. They've been wiped out. Well, what are we fighting for then? Why are we fighting for them? But Bones, what are we fighting for then? If this wasn't about us, public Indian housing, the Indian Bill of Rights, and then I tell you to go look at your elders who was marching with Dr. King, right? Who was out there marching with Dr. King, who knew they were Indians. I mentioned people like Coretta Scott King. She knows she's an Indian. Rosa Parks knows she's an Indian. Morgan Freeman knows he's an Indian. Shaka Khan knows she's an Indian. Where are these people getting Indian from? Where? Why are they calling themselves? Why did your elders in your own family? Hold on, I lost my brother Bones. Why did your elders in your own family tell you that they were Indian? Why wasn't they telling you they were African? Why were they not pushing the African agenda? They were saying they were Indians, okay? So Bones, let's deal with the 1968 Civil Rights Act, aka the Indian Civil Rights Act. Let's talk about what that was. Let's also talk about the AIM movement in 68, which came after Dr. King's assassination.
And I wonder, why did it come after his assassination?
Why did it come
be,
after?
Could it be, if you go in and you read the Fair Housing Act of 1968, you will realize our ancestors were given things from the government. So they came right out and created another movement to distract you. That's right after 1968. You became black and proud. Like I said again, the information that we're saying, it takes less than 10 seconds to actually look it up. But if you're only looking up things to prove your point, what are you really doing? I mean, again, a lot of this stuff that we've been bombarded with was created by racist anthropologists at the top of the 1900s. And if you think this is a joke, all you got to do is just type it in. It's going to tell you racist anthropologists created this. It's not a secret.
So we got to make it make sense. When you see your people, I mean, listen, I keep telling y'all, I'm keeping it at a basic level. I'm keeping it very basic in my presentation of just talk to your people, right? Talk to your people. Now you have to ask yourself, why were those Indians, why were those elders calling themselves Indians? Why? Why was Morgan Freeman saying this? Why was Shaka Khan saying this? Why were our celebrities, James Baldwin, Chuck Berry, all of these people back then? Why were they saying this though?
Even look at it this way, Callie. Like I said, I'm only throwing haymakers tonight at them. If you really came from there, can someone explain to me why in the year 2025, not one African nation or one African family sued America yet to this day for damages? Come on, y'all. Let's stop playing.
Come on, man. Come on. So what I want y'all to see is, I don't care what, listen, man, I don't care what nobody try to tell you. Like, Bones, can you talk to the Fair Housing Act of 1968? Was this for the Native Americans in the TPs or what? Because when Lyndon B. Johnson gave his speech at the end, I could have sworn he said the Negroes no longer have to go through this embarrassment.
But look at it this way. See, people are so smart, they're stupid. The term Native American did not exist in 1968. It was not a federal term in 1968. It got switched over in later on 1900s. If I'm correct, 1987, between 91 is when the term became federally applied. Before then, it was American Indian. Why do you think even in the Fair Housing Act it don't say Native American?
Hold on. You broke up. Before then, it was what?
American Indian. Why do you think in the 1968 Civil Rights Act it says American Indian? Why do you think in every act it says American Indian? Show me the federal act from back then that says Native American. I'll wait. It didn't exist.
You gotta run it back. Zulu, come back and rewind. Come on.
Hello?
Rewind.
Like I said again,
we hear you.
Term Native American did not exist or was applied to American Indians in 1968. It was later on down the line when they started creating all these other classes. They came up with the Native American class. But Native American, by definition, what does it mean? It means anybody born on American soil. All American Indians are Native Americans, but not all Native Americans are American Indians.
Big facts. Now, the point I was trying to tell the sister earlier is, don't get on here and argue with nobody about your bloodline, right? Because see, the sister asked her, what do you think sounds more logical? Basically, what they fed you in school, or what your people told you, or what you're finding out on the on the genealogy, what do you think sounds more logical? What your people told you and what you're finding out in the genealogy, or what these racist anthropologists put out here to you? Which one do you think sounds more logical? This is what she kind of asked her. He might not have used those exact words, but it was something to that effect. You mean you're going to believe your family over these sources? You feel what I'm saying? You're going to believe your family over these sources these people gave you? What you say, Bones? Like, talk to us. Come on, what's happening? We ain't Bones. We just talked about this in last episode of propaganda, right? We talked about the propaganda. You still there, Bones?
Yeah, I'm here. Correct.
Okay. Yeah, we just talked about the propaganda. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, to tell somebody basically to ignore what they're finding in their genealogy, and they want you to wish on a hope and a prayer about Africa. The lady said, hey, listen, my shit is leading me back to Haiti. It's leading me down a Haiti road. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh. But then people talk about people that come from I-80, they all got to be African slaves when
African.
I-80 when they had a population of indigenous people from day one.
Oh, yep. They had a whole army out there called, what was it? Army Indigene or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying, man. Like, they're going to put Africa on anything melanated people do. They're going to try to put Africa on anything. Anything they write, they're going to try to attach Africa to it. We know this. So Bones. Okay, so just before we move on, let's just deal with the difference between because we can move on, because I'm trying to show them. I'm trying to show these Wakanda Forevers. I'm trying to show them, because they said, Bones, they said that we are stealing the other people's culture, the people with the TPs. They said we're stealing their culture. Well, I tried to ask Bones, well, what is their culture that you can find us stealing? Because we can find them stealing everything about us.
And that's the thing that, again, we have to be honest with. Your culture is your family traditions. No one can tell you but your family what your family traditions are.
Oh.
Because tribe is a European word for family. That's it. That's all it means. So when you're hearing tribe, it just means relatives, cousins, uncles, great grandparents. That's all it means.
She said she called us a thief in 5 languages.
But again, see, a person to say that because they don't know about the American Indian boarding schools, to where they took Indians and they taught them a European version of Indians and sent these children back to the tribes to reteach. Remember what America's policy was: kill the Indian, save the man.
Kill the Indian, save the man.
See, in Cali, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they're not going to like to hear this. The problem is why they fight back and why they claw at it so much, because you gave up your Indian heritage to be a European. Let's start being honest.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Brother Bones?
You gave up your responsibility. You gave up the responsibility to your family to be a European, an individualist. You gave up taking care of the land to only take care of self.
We all can put in to grab something big.
You got a question in the chat that says, are there any human fossils in the Americas that predate the one in Africa? I'm asking respectfully, King. And are there any primary sources outside of genealogy that proves that?
Well, genealogy is a primary. Listen, genealogy is a primary source, because genealogy is nothing but a collection of governmental records and family records. See, genealogy records aren't records that people are making up. No, It's birth certificates, death certificates, tax brackets, pay stubs, military receipts, land receipts, tribal families that signed up to let the U.S. government know they was on this land. So when people are telling you they're doing a genealogy and this is coming back, this was coming back because there's plenty of us that have tribal enrollment. But why should we keep arguing with people on who our family is? How
Facts.
can a stranger tell me who my grandmother is? Me and my grandmother know each other. We don't know you. You get what I'm saying? Like, come
Facts.
on.
Facts. 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 So I'm gonna try to walk through some of the things I can remember from the live. Okay. So Bones, we're dealing with let's wrap up. Let's wrap up the difference between the AIM movement in 1968 and the 1968 Indian civil rights. In his speech, did he not address the Negroes specifically, Bones?
Yes. The whole speech is Negro, Negro, Negro. But then
Okay.
again, people say they do research. If you do research, you'll find out the first people called Negro in America were so-called Indians.
Indians, right? Okay, so
There's a book that's called From Indian to Negro by William Kratz. If you want to look it up, it's called From Indian to Negro. Like I
okay,
said, a lot of this information been out.
okay, no. It's definitely out there. It's definitely out there, Bones. Now we just gonna walk around some of these things that were said on this live earlier, man. Like, okay, so let's deal with, okay, before we go on, let's just deal with the Fair Housing Act. What was that about, Bones? The Fair Housing Act. Why were
Fair
they
Housing Act was
fighting for
about,
that?
they was fighting for that because these indigenous American Indians were redlined and blocked out of housing. I mean, again, if we
What
go,
about the Native American Indians? The ones with the teepees. This wasn't about them?
that no, because again, that term did not even exist in 1968.
Okay, so they were called Indians then, right? What were they called? Because the people are saying that this was about
They
them.
wasn't called. They wasn't. But that's the question you have to ask yourself: who is saying it was about them? Because if it's people in 2025 that's trying to say this movement,
Was
the
about
whole 19 was about them, then they need to go back and listen to what the people who was there, the people who lost their lives, the people that we can listen to recordings and video of. What are they saying in 1968? Because they ain't saying none of this foolishness. Somebody with a computer is trying to imprint on everybody. We have to stop this. See, this is the brainwashing that they taught our indigenous ancestors. They taught them the foolishness and we spread it amongst each other.
Come on. So now let me stop you for a second, Bones. Now, Sister Break Room, this is where I was saying when I was on your live, and I was saying they lied to y'all. They're lying to y'all. I'm talking about who it applies to, who took the time to dig into their families to find out that you've been lied to. Okay. I'm talking to those people like myself, like you are doing, Break Room, Sister Break Room, like Bones has done, like many people in this chat have done, like many of your people in your chat. Break Room, we have never had that conversation over there in your chat, but did you notice how many people over there in your chat was also saying that their family were, their elders mentioned Indian to them, not African. So what were those people's elders talking about? This is all I'm saying, Break Room. This is very surface level right here. This ain't got to get deep. You just got to ask yourself if you're coming back with Indian and this in your background, you got people in the chat saying my people, my grandmama said she was Indian too. My granddaddy said, and we saw people that came back and said my people was posting pictures back then. They had feathers and stuff in their hat, right? We saw this in your chat
Think about it,
earlier.
Callie. But think about it, Callie, because they're so brainwashed to tell you, oh, you're an African slave. But that's how I know when I hear somebody say that they're not doing real research. Because if you do real research, you will realize the first enslaved people in America was Indians.
Wow. Touch on that, brother.
Why
Touch
do you
on that.
why,
Touch
why,
on that,
why do you think you have
hold
I'm
on,
gonna
Bones.
go in.
Hold on, Bones. Let me tell you why I want you to touch on that. Because these people seem to think, these Wakanda Forevers, they seem to think that when you hear slavery, it only refers to that transatlantic slave trade that they've been taught. They just
But the problem
seem to can't think that slavery was going on all over the world. It was big business. Slavery does not equate to niggas. It doesn't just equate to
no,
niggas.
because you have Europeans that were enslaved. Slav. The word slave we get from the Slav.
Slavics.
Slavics, Yugoslavians. You understand? Because these were the slaves over there in Europe. But in America, you had Indian tribes going to war with other Indian tribes and enslaving the losers. And I'm not saying any of this is right. What I'm trying to say, when people try to talk history, if you're only talking racist anthropologists talking points from the 1900s, you don't know what you think you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, brother. Like, this is what I was dealing with earlier today. Also, okay, so let me reel it back in, and then because I'm gonna let you cook, right? Let me reel it back in. Let's wrap up the public Indian housing was about us, right? The Fair Housing Act, that was about us, right?
Yep.
All right, 1968, Indian civil rights. Now, do you remember the Native American Indians in their 1968 Ames movement, right? Which came after Dr. King's death. Right? Now,
Exactly.
they were too low in numbers to come fight with us. But they had enough numbers 4 months after King died to start up the Ames movement.
Because that was nothing but a nonprofit organization created to take our benefits that we were given
hijack
in
us.
1968, to hijack you. Because before then, you didn't know what the image of an Indian was. Everybody seen the crying Indian, but do you know the crying Indian? He's a Sicilian. Just type in crying Indian on Google. It's a Sicilian. The images that you were given to you for a reason. So
Iron Cody is a whole Italian.
Sicilian. Yeah, whole Sicilian
portraying
Italian.
to be a Native American Indian.
Those are the images that they gave you. But if you go back before then, when you look at the Tom and Jerry cartoons, the Indians were dark skinned. Mickey Mouse back then, the Indians were
you
dark
look at
skinned.
the little black. Look at the little black and white shows. The Indians they talk about were black.
The ones they showed you back then are dark skinned. It didn't change until later on. It didn't change until later on. Later on, the U.S. government and organizations started getting in.
We gotta link up. Lisa. Yeah, Iron
You can hear
Eyes
me better?
Cody. He's a whole Italian portraying to be an Indian. That's what they put in y'all face. Okay, Bones. So now we know. Now this is what I want y'all to understand. Okay, Bones, hold on. Before we wrap up the 1968 Indian civil rights, okay, the Fair Housing Act, right? What did Fair Housing Act turn into? What did it turn into?
Public Indian housing.
They had to realize, hey, man, listen.
Yeah, it turned into public Indian housing, and then later on, it became what you know today as HUD. There's no such thing as a HUD code. All HUD codes go back to PIH. You don't got to take my word for it. Just type in public Indian housing. And see what comes up. Matter of fact, if you have housing, it says it on the back of all housing vouchers. Public Indian housing.
Well, Bones. I mean, if they're on the reservations, right? Do they need public Indian housing?
So I'm glad you said that, my brother Callie. So what Indians are they talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If in 68 they were fighting for public Indian housing and they're not on the reservations, what Indians are we talking about here then?
You know how you find these Indians in federal policy and law? You find them under urban Indians, because that's how they were classified. Urban Indians. Just type it in and you see what comes back. Y'all be surprised.
Wow, urban Indian. How about that? How about the urban Indian, y'all? Yeah. You know, like this is what we was dealing with earlier today. Somebody said the Indian Civil Rights Act was for everybody, which I'm not. Which I'm not debating that Dr. King said no one is free until we all are free. Okay?
That's why they got it listed as several different names so it can apply
Facts.
to multiple people.
Now, Bones, they said this is what they were saying. It was for everybody. Well, I just said, well, why didn't they just name it the Everybody Civil Rights Act of 1968? Why? Like, you could have simply
But
named it
that's
the
why
Everybody.
it's known as the 1968 Civil Rights Act to us and everybody else. But in policy, it's known as the American Indian Civil Rights Act, the
You
Rat
breaking up,
Brown
Bones.
Act.
You breaking up, Bones.
Oh, oh,
Run it
oh.
back.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. You can hear me clearly?
Go ahead. I hear you.
I was saying again, that's why when you look it up, see, to the world, they call it the Civil Rights Act of 1968. But when you type that in and you look it up and you see the other names that is listed in law as the Rat Brown Act, as the
Mm-hmm.
American Civil Rights Act, that's
Mm-hmm.
what it's actually called. They taught you just call it the Civil Rights Act. So now you're looking at it and thinking it's applying to everybody when it was meant for your people.
Come on, Lisa. Talk your shit down there in that chat. Talk your shit down there
That's
in
my
that chat.
sister Lisa. She knows what she talking about.
Yeah, talk your shit down there in that chat, Lisa. Listen. So all you got to do is go look it up, okay? You got these people that want to push Africa on everybody, and they want you to they really want you to believe these were some Africans fighting for Indian civil rights. And they really want you to believe that your people was getting fucked up. I'm talking about hung, disrespected, terrorized, dogs ate. And they really want you to believe you was getting all this done to you for 3% of Indians on a reservation somewhere that was wiped out.
You ready for the body blow, Callie? You ready for that
Come on with
that,
it,
that, that
man.
that body punch? The body
Come
punch is
on.
this. If the US government knew that you was an African, why it was never called the African Civil Rights Act? I'll wait.
You broke up. You broke up, bro. Give it to us again. What?
If the US government was saying that you were African, why it's not known as the 1968 African Civil Rights Act
Brother,
or
I said the
African
same.
American Act?
Brother, I
You
said
know
the
what I'm saying?
same thing earlier today in the chat. Why wasn't they fighting for African Civil Rights Act? Why wasn't they fighting for the Native American Indian Civil Rights Act? Why wasn't they fighting for Black Civil Rights Act? Why wasn't they fighting for the African American Civil Rights Act? See what I'm saying? You gotta make y'all listen, y'all. Y'all gotta make this make sense. Like, people can write books and stuff all they want. I'm not saying all books and stuff are wrong. I'm just saying we gotta understand that people wrote a lot of this stuff with an agenda to deter us from who we were. Okay, Bone,
And that's
speaking
what
of
I
that,
tell people.
go
And
ahead.
that's what I tell people. Just because you read it in a book, if you don't research who wrote the book and where they got their information from, you are indoctrinated.
Mm, mm. I mean, listen, man, listen. This is. I'm just trying to show y'all some of the topics we dealt with today on my sister Break Room's panel. Okay, you know, because somebody still wants to push Africa on us. Now, Bones, I'm gonna walk you through a few topics that came up on that on that live. We was there for 6 hours, brother. We was there for 6 hours. And again, I want to tell my sister Break Room, who's in the chat, I'm very proud of you. Keep digging into your family. Now, Bones, do we ever say over here on this side that everybody over here is an Indian?
No,
We
because you
never
can't
say
look
that.
at people. Yeah, you have to do it. It's based on your family records.
We never say that over here. And that's what I was trying to tell old girl. Like, this is not nothing we push. We say, do your genealogy on your family. Do your genealogy on your family, because, hey, you just might go back to Africa. But that doesn't mean everybody's story is your story that goes back to Africa. So you can't, just because that's what you choose to believe, you can't push that story on everybody because you want everybody to be African. Let me show you. So this person said she believes all. Let me say it right. She said she believes Africa, Bones, populated the whole world. Africa did it. Populated the whole planet.
They need to really stop pushing that ideology unless they study the people that came up with it and why they created it.
Well, I mean, so how do you feel
Out of
about
Africa,
that?
I'm not going to give you my feelings. I'm going to give you what can be proven. The Outer Africa theory was given to you by racist anthropologists because they're trying to say your dark skin came first, so you're inferior, and they evolved, and the European is the better version of the man. That's all that was created for.
Tell them again, Bones, because you broke out. You broke up.
Oh,
Now, the Outer Africa theory.
The Outer Africa theory was created to put you, melanated men and women, at the bottom. Because what did that theory tell you? It told you that you evolved from a monkey. It became you, and then evolution happened again, and they evolved, and they're the better version of us. What does evolution mean, brothers and sisters? When something evolves, it evolves into a better version of itself. So all they're trying to say is the European is the superior man, and the melanated man is inferior. That's why they created it. It ties into eugenics and everything. Simple research to show you this. If you really want to know the truth.
If you really want to know the truth, or if you just want to keep pushing this, we all come from Africa nonsense, Africa this, Africa that. Okay, so let me say this. Yes, Charles Darwin. There you go. Now, when it comes to this Charles, tell me what Lucy is. Who is Lucy, Bones?
Lucy is a monkey. And even when we say Charles Darwin, see, people don't know the full title of the book. It was the theory of evolution of the placement of the white man. That's the full title of the book. The book
theory of evolution. What?
The theory of evolution for the upliftment of the white man. Because again, he wrote these theories to place them above you. But when you only read the footnotes, you don't know the full title of the book and what it pertains to. You don't know that he created a book after studying animals and tried to link your dark skin to animals.
Come on. So we got Lucy. We got this Lucy, right? With this out of Africa theory, right? All right. This out of Africa theory produces a monkey named Lucy, right? Now, this is what I was telling her earlier, Bones. Some of our people, some of the people that believe in the Africa story, right? Some of the Wakanda forevers. Some of them, this is where they have a problem with the out of Africa theory because they don't agree with coming from monkeys. So they'll then say, we come from a common ancestor. You hear me, Bones? This is the thing. I seen this whole little debate on Brother Sanchez channel one night where some Pan-Africans was up there, and they had Brother Unk up there. You know, he loves to push the common ancestor. We don't come from monkeys.
Then we all should share that common ancestor DNA, but we don't.
You know, hey, listen, brother, listen, I'm with you. I'm with you when you right. Okay?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we had a common ancestor,
Copper Miss Parker, what's happening?
For all men and women, Why do we have the differences? Why do we have different blood types and GNAs? That's letting you know there was multiple people. And everybody keep talking about the outer Africa theory, but that's not the only theory. You got the outer Asia theory. You got the multi-regional theory. You got the
Whoa, whoa,
hybrid
whoa,
theory.
whoa, 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 brother Bones. Now, I ain't even hip to all of this. Now, what's the out of Asia theory?
The outer Asia theory, because you have some scientists now saying life started in Asia.
Okay,
Then
so
you
this
have
is where
some
we get
scientists saying,
this is where we get the Asiatic black man from.
bingo. And now you also had a theory to where life started on all continents separately, like what we believe, that life was on all land,
Everywhere. It was everywhere. Everywhere. So this person says they believe Africa populated the whole world. I mean, listen, Bones. Africa populated the whole world, Bones. Listen, man. Okay, so when we go to, so let me slow down on that because I really want you to get into the American colonization society. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's 1816 when they started.
Okay, so she asked me for a date with the American Colonization Society. Now I'm gonna ask you. Now this is what we mentioned this. Now, what I was trying to explain to the people over there in the chat. Okay. Now this sister says she comes from West Africa. She says her people come from West Africa. Okay. But what I was trying to explain to her, and then she kept mentioning how the West Africans kept running away over here on this land and mixing in with the tribes. Okay, but we'll get to that, right? Let's just first talk about what was the American Colonization Society, Bones?
A group of slaveholders and abolitionists that got together to send American Indians to colonize Africa. It was a colonization project.
Wait. No, Bones, did this really happen? No, this didn't really happen, did it?
Oh, yes, it really happened. Oh, don't we got Sierra Leone?
I mean, we do. I mean, we do, but I don't know. Like, she don't believe this really happened. She don't believe this took place.
I mean, it's a date when the colony was founded and started. The capital was named Monrovia, named after President James Monroe. I mean, this is factual information.
I mean, where's James Monroe from?
He was a United States president.
Stop it. Over in Africa?
In America.
I mean, but he was an American over in Africa? In West Africa?
He wasn't even in West Africa. America financed the project. So they named the capital after him. That's it. Sierra Leone is not even in them people language.
So
French.
So this American Colonization Society was created for what again? What was the purpose of it?
When you look it up, it says to give American Negroes a new homeland. Hold on now. Like I tell people, read this fundamental. When you look it up, y'all, when you look up the ACS, this is in their own words, to give the American free blacks a new homeland. Hold on, but if that's my home, how is it a new home? You know what? Maybe I think too much. I'm sorry. Common sense is flow too much.
Yo, this is kind of interesting to me. Because I was trying to mention the American Colonization Society, and I was kind of trying to tell them how they took us from here over into Africa.
Do they even know about the American Indians that got sent to Nova Scotia and they made a movie off of it and called it something else? These are Indians.
Mm-hmm. So is it possible?
When you look at the records, go ahead.
So is it possible these so-called Africans from the West Africa they say was taken from West Africa? I mean, is it possible them could have been Americans from here, indigenous people from North America being brought back to their land?
A lot of them was, but I'm not even going to go deeper. See, because I like to use people words against them. They tell you that these so-called runaway Africans blend in with indigenous tribes of America, right? So
So
if
what did
a
them Indians?
dark-skinned African, if a dark-skinned African can blend in with
What?
indigenous tribes, what the indigenous tribes
Whoa!
look like, y'all?
What
It's
did
right
those
in your
Indians
face.
look like then? Big
Why do you think the U.S.
June.
government don't even argue this? Why do you think the U.S. government never is arguing this? You find people, everyday regular people that can't change nothing in your life are the ones that are trying to argue with you on this.
Yo,
But
hold
if you
on,
look in
Bones.
the U.S. policy, it tells you.
Yo, well, wait a minute, Bones. Let's run that one back. Let's just run that one back. All right, so if we give it to you that these so-called West Africans was running away and then they were blending in with the tribes, the Native American tribes over here. What did them Indians, do y'all follow me? Are y'all following me here? What did
Because
them
obviously
Indians look like?
They had to kind of look the same, because if not, they would stick out like a sore thumb if they look like the ones that they're trying to show you today.
But they want y'all to believe that the Native Americans with the TPs are the real Indians. That's what they want y'all to believe. But we got people talking about some Africans running away and blending in with the tribes over here on this East Coast. Whoa. What did them Indians look like? If they don't look like them people with the Chinese eyes and the Spanish eating the fried bread and the soups and stuff, what did those Indians look like? We told y'all they look like y'all.
Let's go deeper. United States history shows you for a fact that they took enslaved American Indians and sent them to Europe and Africa and other places. So now you have to show me the descendants of these American Indian slaves that look like the so-called Native Americans today in these countries. Because the last time I checked, you don't see them, but you see a whole lot of people that look like us.
Hold on, slow down. Slow down, Bones. Let's run that one back. Now, they did what? They took us to where? And did what?
Took us to different places around the world as
But
slaves.
that's documented though. That's documented. That's not nothing you ain't just making that up, right?
South Carolina records will show you there were more indigenous Americans taken out as slaves than Africans ever bought in. Factual.
South Carolina records will show you that there was indigenous slaves taken out.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. It's 2025, my nigga. Like, this is all we trying to say. It's 2025.
Now I'm gonna give you go a little deeper, if I may. Why do you think they stopped teaching your children how to read and write cursive? Because a lot of these original records, how is it written? In cursive. So if you can't read cursive, how you ever gonna read your history? Come on, man, we gotta wake up.
Hey, man, listen. I'm letting you cook, brother. I just want to listen, brother Bones. We was on that live for 6 hours today, hearing about how people gonna propose on us who we are on the land because they want us to be African. These are people who's telling us that that Africa populated the whole world. I mean, like when she said that at that point, I said, I get it. I get it. I'm good. Like at that point, I was like, I'm good, bro.
But you know what's funny? Why nobody ever asks the question, why are they forcing you to do this? Because again, as long as the U.S. government can show that the American Indian population is 3%, they control the land that's in trust. Again, people be talking about these treaties and laws and stuff, and they never read them. As long as we stay separated, as long as we be fighting with each other, we're always going to be at the bottom. Because the only way the law kicks in for us is when we start identifying on who we are and we start moving as communities like our ancestors did. Our ancestors didn't do stuff as individualists. Every time our people got something in this country, it's because we stood in unison And it does not mean we have to like the same food, like the same music, but we all got a common cause. We all have children that we want to have a brighter future on our homeland.
Come on, Bones. Come on. No, I'm with you all the way, brother. I just listen, bro. Like, this is why when the sister hit the live, I didn't even want to sit up there. Like, I didn't even want to sit up there because listen, bro, like, you can't tell people who they are, who they found out who they are, and you just can't run that game on people, because I mean, and you really had an attitude because people wasn't agreeing with you because it's 2025, my nigga. That's
But
why.
that's just like even the term maroon. It's a misnomer. It comes from the term Cimarron. That's where you get Seminole from, because these people couldn't pronounce certain letters. See, we have to remember again, certain letters did not exist in people's language until you got what we got, this new English. So a lot of these people couldn't pronounce certain things. So you got different names. Cimarron becomes Seminole in one language. It becomes maroon in another language. It's just mispronunciation of words. That's just like a lot of these names that we call the tribes today are made up. You have to go back. You have to go back and find out what your people called themselves. Even when we say Maya, ain't that's what they tell you somebody else called them people? Even when you say Aztec, that's not what them people called themselves. Even when you say Olmec, that's not what them people called themselves. These are Europeans renaming these people.
Wow. Wow.
The Maya called themselves the she. They called themselves the she, the XI, the she. This is what they called themselves.
Somebody has a question in the chat. The real Attentionist has a real Attentionist defense has a question in the chat that says, Chief Cali, this here is a big question. How would African slaves know how to get to said Native American reservations? Come on, man. Come on, real Attentionist. Didn't I just say, wouldn't it make sense that these are probably people who were already taken from the land into Africa and brought back to the land? And this is why they kept running away, because they knew where they knew the land. Come on, let me.
And what people need to do, they need to go back. And when they was talking about people were forbidden to read and write, they're talking about a particular set of people that they brought over here. See, during the time when they were sending people over here from Europe as slaves, there was a war going on. You know it as the Crusades. Them first set of slaves that they were sending over here were non-Christians. So if they're non-Christians, what would they be? They would be Muslims and Jews. They had a common language amongst them, Arabic. So it allowed these different enslaved people through these wars that came to the Americas to communicate back and forth with each other. That's what they were talking about. But if you never open up the records and read it for yourself, you think they were talking about you.
Lisa M, I'm going to that was one of the things that came. Now, y'all, I don't know how to. I'm on my phone, so I don't. Let me see if I can hit this. Hide from stage. I don't know. Okay, your comment is up on the screen. Okay, so I'm on my phone. So Lisa M, that was another thing we talked about today also. So I'm a jump back to that in a minute. But you on point. You are right on point. The real attentionist defense. Yo, that's what I was trying to tell the sister, right? She keeps bringing up that these so-called Africans ran into these tribes. They ran into these tribes, okay? And what I'm trying to say to her is, sis, there was a whole thing called the American Colonization Society. You talking about Africa populating the world? Well, America populated West Africa. Like, this is what I'm. Yo.
West Africa is nothing but an imperialist colony. Facts. Because if it wasn't, what is the scramble for Africa? What is the race for Africa at the top of the 1900s when they carved Africa up and everybody put their colonies there?
Hey, Mama Bear,
I
what's
mean, it's so
happening?
simple. All you got to do is type in scramble for Africa. It'll pop up all the information on what happened at the top of the 1900s. Why did it take them that long to get into Africa? Why malaria? But where did the cure for malaria come from?
Malaria, the
Um,
disease malaria.
where did the cure come from? America, quinine from the plant. All this you can look up. It's after they came here, set up their colonies here, got medicines and knowledge from here, they was able to go over there to Africa. Why do you think Africa going through right now what our ancestors went through 100 years ago?
Dang.
The destabilization of families, putting in their own leaderships, bringing in other imperialist nations to rule over and build it up. Isn't that what happened here?
Now, Sister Break Room, I'm just going to tell you the fact that the only reason we're not putting nothing up on the screen and dropping no whatchamacallit is because for one, I'm at work and I'm on my phone. I don't even know how to work this shit from my phone. Okay. And Bones is out of town. He's dealing with a family situation out of town. So that's the only reason we're not actually putting things up. So I don't want you to think that, we're just talking and telling you, but some of the things that we're telling you about, you can actually go look up. Now, Sister Break Room, what I do want to tell you is people don't like to talk about that American colonization society. They don't like to talk about that, and they don't like to talk about the second middle passage. They don't like to talk about slavery that went on right here on the land. They don't want to talk about that because they want you to think that the only slavery it dealt with bringing them people over from Africa. All right.
And that's kind of funny. Like we're gonna forget that there's hundreds and hundreds of records of Europeans being bought over as slaves.
I was just
It
getting
was
ready
a
to ask
penal
you, Bones.
colony.
I was just about to ask you, Bones. Were there Europeans, white Europeans, over here on
Yeah.
the land as slaves? Were
Yes,
there
there was.
were there Negroes on this land who owned slaves?
Yes, there were.
So why do we equate slavery only to us?
Because that's what that American educational system taught.
Come on, man. Come on, man. And that's all I was saying, Break Room, earlier about some of the information when somebody asks you, well, what sounds more logical, this or that? Your people or this agenda, this information that's been fed to you to run you off the land, to tell you who you are not. Like what?
And records would show you that France alone sent 20,000 convicts and prostitutes into New Orleans.
Whoa.
This is in the 1800s.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that Mardi Gras that everybody celebrate in New Orleans, that's not where it came from. It came from Mobile, Alabama. See, real Mardi Gras is still celebrated to this day in Mobile, Alabama. That one in New Orleans, that's a created European tourist attraction. No history to your people.
Whoa. So Bones, I ain't gonna hold you up all night, but I just wanted my sister Break Room. Hey, listen, you can go. Hey, listen, hopefully this is resonating with you and your family. Like what I'm trying to keep it very simple. You have to ask yourself, why were they marching for Indian civil rights? If it makes sense to you that you was marching and getting ate up by dogs for some Indians on a reservation somewhere, who was only what she say 3%? Bones, she said they were only 3% because they got wiped out. They what are we fighting for them for then, Bones? Like you said earlier, like they're not going to get any representation in law because or in government because they're too small. There's not enough of them. So you mean to tell me my grandmama and them was getting towed the fuck up for some niggas on a reservation?
See, this is the problem. See, when they keep hollering about reservations back at this time, I keep saying it again, Kevin. In that
Okay.
moment, I know this person isn't a researcher. Because if you research, the American Indian Termination Act is an American Indian Termination Act. When they terminated all American Indian tribes, is in 1953.
Hold on, Bones. Hold on, Bones. Stop right there. The American Indian Termination Act is something to go look up. The American Indian Termination Act. Okay, now we don't have it on hand to give you the, go look it up. Go look up the American Colonization Society and look at what their plan was. Oh, Marcus Garvey. Oh, he was a part of that too. He was a part of trying to get you to Africa too. And he never set foot in Africa, but he was working with the American Colonization Society. You also had the African Colonization Society also. Go ahead, Bones.
And this is the thing. Once you look up this act and you realize what it did, at this moment in 1953, the American Indian was no longer protected by federal law.
Ooh.
What happened after 1953? Was it race wars? Wasn't it hard for your ancestors to buy property, to do business? Why? Because you no longer had federal protection. What happened in the 1960s when King and it was marching? They signed an executive order to give us back what? Federal protection. Because who came in when they was marching? Who came in when it was the riots?
Hold on, Bones. Hold on, Bones. I want them to go. I want them to be able to go pull this stuff up themselves. Now, you said what happened in what, 1953?
1953 is the American Indian Termination Act. At this moment, American Indians were no longer protected by the federal government.
Okay.
That's why you was able to get ran off your property. That's why you was beaten, chased by dogs.
Wait
because
a minute.
The federal government no longer protected you.
Whoa.
What do you think King was talking about? See, Callie, this is why I say people really don't research. They surface level stuff and they just repeat what sounds good. But these are federal acts that's on law.
Hold on 1 second, Bones. Hold on 1 second. My sister Dewanda has checked in Truth Be Told channel. Sis, I put the link in your text message. If you still want to hit the link, I put it in there. Break room. I also put it in there for you in your text message. Whoa, this is hey, whoa. This is big business right here, Bones. The American Indian Termination Act of 1950, 1953. Is that what we looking at? That's what we need to pull up. Oh, we need to do something on that because that's big. That's big right there. So you're telling me when the Termination Act went into effect, this is why we were able to be ran off our land and stuff.
HR 108. That's how you can find it. House Concurrent Resolution 108. Everyone that's in the sound of our voice, they can type in HCR 108, or they can even type in just Indian termination policy. And it's gonna pop up.
Oh, wait. That's big, y'all. That's big, y'all. That's big, y'all. Like, this tells you why they are able to attack you with the dogs. This is why they put
the water hose on. This is why, because there was no longer no federal protection. What did King and them do? The first thing they did was ask for what? Federal protection again.
Now, Bones. Now this goes back to when I say, okay, sis, I'm finna drop it again for you. This goes back to when I say stop calling yourself black. Stop calling yourself African American, because call yourself who you are on the land. Who are you on the land? Because guess what? When you're calling yourself black and they're attacking you with dogs and they're shooting you down, what are they really killing? What are they really shooting? You around here calling yourself African. You ain't American. Who are you on the land? I'm about to put it in your text message.
But you ready for this one though? Guess when they reinstated the tribes? 1970.
1970. Hold on, sis. Check your messenger on check your messenger, Dewanda. Check your messenger. I'm putting it in your messenger. This is for you to hit the panel if you want. Okay, wow, Bones. Yo, like Bones, you cooking. You cooking. My brother is cooking. Okay.
Now,
Oh
I
shit,
just want
hold
to
on.
make sure that everybody in the chat actually look this up right now while you had the time. So you can listen, please look it up. You will understand what really happened in the 1950s and 60s and 70s. You will really understand why you see them pictures of your people going through that
Wow.
and why you don't hear those stories of this happening before 1953, because you had federal protection. There was laws that if an Indian got touched at this time, you would have to deal with the federal government. Remember
So
what the
Bones, you saying
Constitution
this?
states.
Go ahead.
The Constitution states who is responsible for the care of the Indians and making sure that everything that they needed was provided to them. The federal government. It didn't get
And
hard for your ancestors
they
until they terminated the tribes.
oh wow. They terminated the tribe. Listen, y'all, that was a jewel right there. Welcome my sister Dewanda, Truth Be Told channel to the panel, man. My sister is on the
Greetings.
season 2 of the docu-series. My brother Bones is also on season 2 of our docu-series Our Story, and this is why we do Our Story. So you're dealing with the cast of Our Story right now up on the panel, two of the people. So Dewanda, what we're dealing with is we had a sister who's in the chat right now, and this live is basically off of her live, because the sister has started doing her genealogy, and she's very excited about. She's finding out about her family. She's finding out the area they're from, and then we had somebody, come into the chat who wants to push Africa on everybody. Oh yeah. They want to propose. They want to propose who we are to our people, because they still believe Africa populated the whole wide world. This is what they're still, believing in 2025. They told us that we're stealing the Native Americans, we're stealing their culture, and can't tell us what their culture is,
Well,
you know.
where were the Native Americans when all this was going down in the first place?
Well,
Where was their presence?
Well, sister, what she said to me was, come on, man, they were wiped out. They're only 3%. It's only 3% of them. So we was getting ate up and fucked up for 3% niggas.
Okay, then my next question if she's still listening, my next question to her would be, if that's the case, then how come, according to most scientists, they say that it's proven that they come from the Bering Strait? Their blood ties to a different land. So how can they be native to the Americas?
Well,
Or to
when you
America
look
in
at
general?
That
when
part.
and when you look at their whole culture, look at how they eat, look at how they live. They're very similar to the culture of Siberians and
But hold
Mongolians and stuff.
on. There's a reason why they're saying Siberian, y'all. See, when they say Siberian, your mind thinking Mongolian and all that. No, Siberia today is what we would call Russia and Germany.
Okay.
Don't let these scientists fool you.
Exactly.
Siberia at this time, what they're trying to do, they're trying to put their place in the state that American Indians
We
are
can't hear you,
related to
boss. Okay.
Europeans. All they're trying to say is that American Indians are tied to Europeans. That's it.
You're breaking up, bro.
That's why they tell you that.
You got a buzz going on, Bones. Some kind of buzz.
Mic check. You can hear me clear?
We hear you, but it's some kind of buzz going on.
Hold on.
So up on the screen is the HR 108 1953. That's the Termination Act, Tribe Termination Act. Okay, now I'm gonna let Bones. I'm gonna let.
I also, if the young lady still listening, I also want to look up the terminology of the term, the word.
She just entered the chat. She just
Oh,
entered in.
okay. So if she's listening, look up the word scalings. It's SKAELINGS. Look up that word and see who that applies to in the year who that applied to and what year that applied to those people, because that's going to
Okay.
take you back to Eric Leaf, the Viking that was supposedly came before any other European to the Americas. And when he got here to the Americas, he called the people here scalings, and they was, according to what is documented, they were dark skinned, short people with woolly hair or tough hair, however you want to call it. But that was before anybody else.
Yeah, I'm sure they're African though. They're gonna be.
No, they don't want you
No,
to
not
know.
these people.
They're
No,
talking about the Wap. They're talking
Well, I
about the
mean, that's
Wabanaki.
not these
no.
people.
What
They
I'm telling,
Africans. Oh,
what I'm
okay, I
saying,
got you.
what I'm saying to y'all is, when it come to my sister in the chat, she's gonna put African on it.
She's gonna put African on. Okay.
Those were. It don't matter if they were dark. They're African. Remember,
Even though the same
remember,
period. Wow, that's
remember.
crazy.
Remember this sister right here. She feels like this sister right here. She says she feels like Africa populated the whole world. So
Okay, they populated the whole world. Yeah.
you can't be
With
talking
who?
about nobody else.
So if that's the case, then how come black people are the only ones called African Americans? Why not every single human being called African Russian, African this or African that? Why are we the only ones labeled African Americans if Africa is the progenitor of all races and of all humanity?
Yeah.
But you know what's so
I would
funny?
like for her to answer
That
that
term
question,
do
if she can type
fits.
it out in the chat.
Oh, they couldn't, because they don't realize that term does fit to a particular set of people. Because the only people on that continent that call themselves Africans are from South Africa, and they're related. They have Dutch ancestors. So when Trevor Noah comes to America, he's an African American. The
Let me
majority of
ask you.
your African Americans
Listen.
are fair skinned.
Hold on, Bones. She wants to drop the link. Y'all cool with that or what?
Whoever it is, yeah. Who is it?
Y'all
Yeah.
want? Okay. All right. Hold on. Now
Neo
remember, y'all.
wants you to drop the link too.
Yeah, that's who we talking to.
Oh, Neo. Okay, that's Neo. Okay.
That's who we're talking to.
Hey, Neo.
Hold on, Neo. Now remember,
Yeah, I
y'all.
just read that statement that was in the chat. But see that this, and I just want to answer this real quick. See, when they say that we're
Neo,
stealing someone's identity, right?
Yeah, Neo said that.
Y'all can hear me.
Neo said
Y'all
that.
can hear me clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, I'm reading to Neo. When you're saying that you're stealing someone's identity, the problem with that is this: if you don't know that person's personal family history, Neo, how do you know that person is stealing someone's culture? Are you related to that person? Because a lot of these people do have ties in the tribes. A lot of these people are tribal members.
You guys, hold on one second. Now, remember, y'all, I'm at work, so I'm gonna put my phone on this whatchamacallit, but I am listening, okay? Because
Okay.
Neo brought some topics up earlier that I want to bring up. Okay. So I don't know if she's just coming in or not, but we done talked about the 1968 civil rights movement. Neo said that wasn't about us. So if y'all want to deal with that, she said that wasn't about us. Neo said she feels like Africa populated the world.
Not what I said.
Oh, you okay? Go ahead, Neil. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
right.
All right. I'm going to try to keep a hold on this conversation. All right. So let's be respectful in how we're talking. All right. So I'm gonna try to keep a control on the topic. Go ahead, Neil. Go ahead, Neil.
Hey, Neo. Good to hear see you. Talk to you again.
What was said, because Callie continuously like to do this, have disagreements, is that he'll run over to his area, his space, where his echo chamber, where people agreeing with his confirmation bias, and claim I said things that I did not say. I did not say the whole world was populated from Africa. He asked me, do I believe in the outer African theory, where the Europeans, the Asians, the Indians saying that all life started in Africa. That the first people who most likely existed were melanated
I'm
people.
not hearing anybody, Callie.
Not hearing me?
Y'all
You
can't
said
hear her?
I
Y'all
can't
can't hear her?
I can't hear her at all.
I can hear her. I can
I
hear her.
hear her. I hear her.
You hear? Yeah, I can't hear her.
DeWanda, drop down and come back.
Okay.
You drop
all right.
because we hear her.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I was incorrect, Neo, by saying that you think Africa populated the whole world. That was incorrect.
Yeah, that's definitely because that was
Okay.
not the
Okay.
was the theory about out of Africa, and then what we believe about the equator, the mutation of different races of people and nationality. Now, when I made that statement, you kept trying to refer back to the Lucy bones or whatever, saying the monkeys or whatever. And I told you that is not the claim that they're making. They're making that we have a common ancestors with the apes. They never said that we were monkeys. That's when people make those type of arguments, when they simply don't understand how evolution
That
works.
does come from
So
the
they
out of
make
Africa theory.
that's not no, but you keep saying, do I say the whole world was populated from Africa?
Okay, I
And
did.
I
I
was
did ask you that earlier, and I could have sworn you said you think the Africa populated the whole world. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
First group of people came out, but everyone spread it. There was a mutation. That's why you got the with light skin and the thin hair and the thinner
You
nose.
breaking
You
up.
have the Asian who developed the fold.
Yeah, you breaking up right now. It's kind of hard to make
breaking up, Neil. We hear you, but you choppy.
What about now?
Go ahead. Go
Is
ahead.
that better?
Go ahead, Joe.
I don't know if you can still hear me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Can y'all hear me?
again,
Yeah, go ahead.
he took the statement saying that everybody, the whole world was populated from Africa. That is not the same statement of me saying that they said that first human beings came out of Africa. The continent, that does not mean they're African. You know what I'm saying? The continent. And then people migrated, spread it out, and then different civilizations began to develop. But that's the argument that he keeps constantly trying to make, because he knows I disagree with the Indian theory that people are trying to push and argue with half facts, bro. Like, you got to keep it real. You keep
Okay,
trying to push
so
that
you disagree with our Indian what?
the theory.
What's the theory?
The theory that you believe that you are indigenous to this land and that y'all were already here.
But that's not a theory, though.
Yes, it is.
No, see, a theory is yes, but if I can show you my family lineage, I can show you my tribal membership. That's not a theory. See,
So,
some of us.
and if I can show you factual where it's documented that Africans ran into Native American reservations, and that it's documented that those people were given paperwork contract once they intermingled with those people and they became a part of that tribe. That's where y'all got that paperwork from. So if I can
No,
show you that,
you cannot show that my family members, that my great 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 grandmother. No, because I have that paperwork. It does not say that. Again,
I
some
can
of
show
us.
you the document that
You're not,
says
sister. I
how
want to make
you
sure
got
you hear
the
me.
paperwork.
Listen to me, sister. Again, if I'm telling you, my family, my personal family records, I can't speak for no one else. That's not in my personal family records.
So if I show you a document stating how
That
you
listen, that my family,
brother, you can try
listen,
to explain, look, one thing, I'm a very intelligent brother. I mean, sister, don't do that, bro. It
no,
doesn't matter
listen
if
to what
it's
I'm
your
saying.
family. Hold on, because that's not, it's a theory. You said it's not a theory.
It's
And I said
not.
it is a theory. And you're basing it off of your paperwork through your lineage, through your family, right?
Correct. My family. I can't tell you
Right.
about
So
no
if
one
I
else.
show you a document that's stating how you got your paperwork,
You can't
But you
show me a
accept it.
document.
How
You
you
can't.
how you figure?
What
Is it
what would
not?
the document be, Neil?
You
Is it?
cannot
Hold
show
on.
That's
me.
what
Watch
I'm
Let's
about to
this.
ask.
listen.
Is
What
What
is
your
would
the
the
paperwork?
document,
document
Neil?
be?
Watch this. Watch this. Let me show you how dumb this sound. Is your paperwork a government document, sir?
No.
It's not. It's a written.
Listen. My paperwork is my blood to my family. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, the
Indigenous.
paperwork, brother.
No, again, listen. Then you do not know how American Indian tribes work. It
I
goes
do
by
know. That's what
lineage.
I'm proof how you got
Listen,
your paperwork.
listen. When I say paperwork, it means lineage. Who my grandmother is, who my mother is. You understand? That's how tribal membership
So
works.
there
The,
is there a documented
yes,
written.
yes.
So who initiated the paperwork?
My tribe does.
Okay, what's the name of your tribe?
Catawba. I,
Catawba. So
I am a
Did
Catawba.
Catawba ever own slaves?
Did Catawba own slaves? No.
They never.
The Catawba never owned slaves. No.
So okay, did the Catawba intermingle with any of the Africans that ran into their
No.
reservations?
No.
You willing to bet money on that?
I know for a fact.
Okay, hold on. Grab the pen. Let me get the pen because I want to make sure I get the correct spelling. Please spell the name of your tribe.
Catawba. C-A-B-A.
C-A. Wait, C-A-B-A.
W.
W.
Yes, we come from out of the Carolinas, North Carolina area. You would know
Okay.
some of us as also Catawba Saponi.
No, spell
Look
that
it up,
again.
sister.
I am. Spell it again.
C-A-B-A-W.
Okay. And it wasn't you said you got paperwork. Right.
Yes, all tribes do. We know who our family members are. We have a tribal genealogy. Listen, all tribes have a head chief that keeps the
Great job.
records.
I know all tribes did a great job keeping track of their lineage. That's how I'm approved when I do my presentation, how Africans got theirs and how y'all intermingle with that community. But you're not
Well,
those people.
well, sister, you will fail in front of everybody. I'll
No,
wait for that challenge.
I already kind of low key did it, but I'll just do it again just to set the record straight.
You will fail with this one. I
I
am.
I
Let's
doubt
go. Set the date. Set the date.
you want to do
I'm
Friday?
lost. I'm lost, Neo.
You
Like
want to do Friday?
I'm
I will
lost.
set the date because I can show. I can show my family.
I
I'm with
think
my
I'm on
family
Friday.
now.
Let's do Friday.
We can do it.
I'm lost. Like, so
I'm
what are you
evil.
showing?
Matter
What
of
are you
fact,
gonna show, Neo? What is it you're gonna
she's
show?
gonna show me how my tribe got their records. When I can have my tribal chief on Friday. Let's do this. Just don't worry. Let's just set it up. You finna get embarrassed, sister. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but yeah, I would love to talk with you Friday.
Okay.
You
You're gonna
had
tell the
here.
Catawba. You're gonna tell the Catawba how we got our history and our lineage, but you don't even know how to spell our name.
You're
Stop.
not people. You're a descendant of an African who intermediate with those people. That's
No, I have full tribal membership and always have, sister. You're talking to the wrong one.
So
They
Neo,
gave
the Africans integrated with the Catawbas.
if he existed, whatever year they claim they existed, what year would this tribe recognize?
Recognize.
Yeah,
We
who
have always
recognized this
been there.
tribe?
No, you do not have to be recognized as a tribe. No,
That's
you
what
do
I keep
not.
trying to tell you, Neo.
No,
Like
you do not know how this works.
Yeah,
I keep
bro.
trying to tell you, Neo. Like that was
What year did
government
these
shit.
Africans come to America to
Whatever they
integrate
was
into the
running away
tribe?
from throughout the whole slave trade for the whole 400 years. They was
No, sister, that's not true.
Yeah,
That is
because
not
slavery,
true.
because it started in 1619, 400 years is 2019. We wasn't having slaves at that time coming in at least
I
during our
said,
time frame.
I said, whenever the Africans was here, they ran away all the time and they ran into the reservations.
Okay, give me a date
Now,
of give me a
My
hold
time
on.
people was
frame of
not on a
who.
Now,
reservation.
hold
That's
on.
what I'm trying to figure out. You know,
Hey, sir.
reservations did not
Hey,
exist during
sir. Hey, sir, I
Reservations
just
did
looked
not
up.
Hold
exist
on, Neo.
during
Hold on,
slavery.
Neo. Hold on. Reservations did not
And
exist. What?
I just looked up.
Reservations did not exist during slavery. During the
I
time
just
of
looked.
slavery, there
I
was no
just looked.
federal reservations. No
I just
federal
looked up the name of
reservations.
your. I just looked up your name of your tribe. It's not coming up. Are you sure you spelling that correct?
Yes, I am.
So it's spelled Cabaw.
Yes.
There's nothing coming up with that. So it might sound like y'all made some shit up.
I don't think so, sister. We're right out of North Carolina. We're
Mhm.
also known.
What's another name y'all go by?
You can find us under Waccamaw,
Okay, spell Wakama.
WACCAMAW.
W W
A
A C C A W
M
A
A
C C A.
W
I ain't hear you were breaking up. WACCAMAW.
MAW.
So that's another name for your tribe. Okay.
So Neo, you think we all come from Africa or what?
Boy, how many times I have to keep
No,
repeating that?
no, no. I mean, no. I'm saying through the slave trade, through the
Bro, you
through the
literally
slave.
saying that, and I keep explaining that the whole time. Like, bro, nobody's denying that y'all have Indian heritage. It's a theory that y'all keep saying that y'all were already here. It's facts that
No, it's not a theory.
it's a
The
theory.
out of slave, the out of Africa is a theory as well. So
Out of Africa is a
what are you
theory.
saying?
Out of Asia is theory. Out of Africa is not the only theory. You do know this, right? There's out of Asia theory. There's a multi-regional theory. There's a hybrid theory. So which one is right, sister? Because you're only talking about one, but there's 7 theories.
And then
The
also we can't exclude
theory does not
the
relate
American the American slave trade.
Hold on 1 second, Neo. Hold on 1 second, Neo. Let me hear what she said. What you say, Wanda?
I was saying we can't also exclude the the American slave trade,
what?
the intra-American slave trade from going from Americas to the Americas, from going
Yeah, I
from
know
North America to South America to Central America.
five
So
percent of Africans went to North America and 95 went down to South. And then you have the intermediate slave trade. I'm aware of that.
yeah,
So
And what
okay. So
area did they go?
my first question to you was that can you give me the date and the name of the boat in the area that these people came from doing it when they integrated over to the Americas with the American Indian people?
you asked me to give you the name and the dates and the boats.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
you
the
said
date on when they're supposed to intermingle, since you're saying that our people are intermingling with Africans. When did this
Yeah,
supposedly happen again?
I'll
and
repeat.
the name of the boats that they came over on and where did they land at and
I
who
on
were
record.
these so-called Africans for these
So
tribes?
I just want to make sure it's on record. Are y'all denying that Africans did not miss with the indigenous people in America? Are you saying that never happened?
No,
That
some
wasn't
of
my
them
No, ain't
did.
question.
nobody
Some
saying
did,
No,
but
nothing
that's not
like
nobody
what we're
that,
asked that.
Neo.
saying.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
so we do acknowledge. So just to be fair, we do acknowledge that y'all recognize that Africans did intervene with indigenous people in Americas, right?
Some
With some
did.
tribes, yes. Yes.
Some did. Yes, that's not
Yeah,
our.
you had some
That's not
Native
what I'm saying.
Americans that mingled in with us too.
What we're asking you, you're saying that
So you
these people
saying
came
Native
over. So
Americans and
we're
Indians
asking
are
you the
two
name.
separate people?
Yes. Yes. They're 2 separate people. Federal law will
What's
let
the
you
difference?
know. No, hold on, sister, so you can look this up. Federal law will let you know all American Indians are Native Americans, but not all Native Americans are American
Or
Indians.
American Indians.
Native American just means you was born here.
Well, we know when we use the word Native American, we talk about the people that was here before the colonization. That's why they call them
That's
Native to America.
no, no. The
Like,
term
so if
Native
you want to
American
do
is
a
a new.
word play, hold on, brother. If you
It's
want
not
to
a
do a
word
word
play.
play,
Federal sister,
no,
hold on.
that's a
Federal
you
law.
do,
What
brother.
year did they change it from American Indian to Native American? What
That's
year did federal law change it?
not gonna work. You know that they use the term Native American, but they referring to the people that were here before the colonization.
No, that's a new term, Neo X. I'm to
No,
ask you, do you know the year? Do you know the first year that was used in the federal government?
the first year
Because
they
I can give you the date and the policy that created it.
You know that when people say Native American, they're not talking about people born in America. That's why it says Native, right? They're
No,
talking about the
again,
people before the colonization,
no, they're not.
before the white folks. Like,
Neo X. Do you know on the tribes we don't call ourselves Native Americans? No Indian go by the. No, we don't.
I didn't say you did.
Native American just mean born here. Look it up for yourself.
And who are they talking to? The people when somebody say Native American, who they talking about, brother?
Native American just mean you were born in
They're talking
America.
about the indigenous people, bro. Stop
No,
playing with
they're
my
not.
intelligence, bro.
No, they're not. That's
Hold on,
what
Yes,
hold on,
you
hold
they
on.
are.
Let me say this. Let me say this, Bones. Let me
look
Bones.
up the
Let me say
definition.
Bones. Let me say this though. I'm kind of letting Neo talk. I'm kind of letting her go, right? Because I want us to be able to come back and hear exactly what she said and be able to address exactly what she's saying. Okay, so if you see, I'm not interjecting too much because I want her to be able to get her shit off, so we can come back and show exactly what no, this isn't it, Neo, like no. So I'm letting her get it off. Now he's asking, do you know the year that it actually went into federal
It
terms?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what year that it went into when they start using the word or whatever. Because, like he said, that Navajo Indian guy I talked to do not call himself a Native American. He called himself an indigenous, right? So it's irrelevant for you to ask me when did they start using the word, because we know in modern terms when
But
somebody
you
say
gotta
Native
know how the
American,
government's using it, Neo.
when people say Native American, you know exactly who I'm talking about. The people who
No,
are
sister.
already here
What
before the
year?
colonization,
What?
before white folks, bro. Like,
No.
stop playing.
What year did that term get used? When did they start
It
using the
doesn't
term?
matter what
It
year it was
does, sister.
used, bro.
And
It
when
Like,
you
does.
don't know, just say I don't know. It's simple as
Yeah, just
that.
say you don't
it's
know
not
if you
even
don't know the
about saying
year.
I don't know, because
It
I can
is. It
simply
is
look it
because
up and get
it's a
the
very
answer.
simple. It's a
But you
very
don't
simple
know. I
No,
can tell you
calculation.
off the top of my head.
there's no point
1960,
of me.
19, sister, I'm finna tell you what you don't know. 1960, 1970 is the first time the U.S. government adopted the term Native American. Now,
Said
when you look,
1960.
1960 to
Okay.
1970 is
Now,
when this
how's
term
that
came
relevant
up.
to the people I'm talking about? Now, watch this. Now,
It's
how is
relevant.
that relevant
No,
when
I'm
I
finna
said
show.
Native
Now I'm
American,
finna
who I'm
show.
talking about?
Now you want to know. I'm finna tell you why it's relevant. Because in 1968, if you read the Civil Rights Act, the federal government in this act is talking to American Indians. It's in black and white. The reason why they created the term to separate people from the benefits that King died for. Do your research. Good night.
Boy, you just a stupid. That has nothing
Look
to
it
do
up.
with it. That has
Look
nothing
it
to do
up.
with when I said so y'all identifying yourself different from the Native Americans to the Indians. And you just sit up here and said they are two different people.
Yes, they are.
So you sit up here and talk about whatever Martin Luther King did and them signed it, it's irrelevant because I
No,
was
it's
talking
not,
about a
sister. You're taking it out of context. Again, I just gave you a date and a time. Prove me wrong. We don't want to hear nothing else. Prove me that
I,
this term. Again, I'm
I just
asking a
did
question.
I
I'm
just did
asking
a
a
simple
question.
research, and they said they first started using the word in 1946.
No,
So
the
we can
federal
agree.
government. You see, you're not listening to the question I asked you. When did the federal government adopt the term? It did not happen until 1960, 1970, and it was attached to the Indian Civil Rights Act. You don't even know your American history.
Bro, you don't know yours because the civil rights movement of the Native American, the soldiers, right, dealing with the removal of the tribal homeland, they were calling those people Native Americans in 1861 and 1865. Do you want me to
No.
send that to you? I
And I can
just looked
show
it up
you the
in my
Native Americans that
source.
they're talking
Hold on,
about
hold on.
then.
Here's the
The term
source.
did not
No,
exist, sister.
brother. Nope. Here's my source because you said I didn't know my history. I just
Send your
looked it up
source and I'll
that
debunk
bad.
it. Give me
The
your source and I'll
source is
debunk it right now.
national. The source is the National Museum of the Civil War, right? Where they were referring to those people as the word Native American in 1861 through 1865. Again, that's why I said it's irrelevant for whenever the government officially adopt the word. It was a word already being used. But you knew
No,
when
in
I
the
was trying to ask you the
1865, the
difference.
Native American Party, the Native Americans that they're talking about in 1865 is a party, sister.
Political group.
It's a
It's a
political
political
party.
group.
Clean it
Not
up.
the
Clean it up.
not it's
It's
the
a
Clean it up. You
political
said
group.
political
no.
party, sister.
It's the know
Clean
nothing
it up.
party. The political group.
Clean
It's
it up.
called the
Yeah,
Know
clean it up.
Nothings.
Move that goalpost. Clean it up. That's why I told you it's irrelevant to argue about the history of the
No,
word because
no.
that's not
So you're
what
not
we
listening
disagree.
to yourself. You're
May I
not listening
interject?
to yourself. The question was, when would this term apply to American Indians? It did not happen until
And I also said
1960.
and I said 30 times it's irrelevant because when
No,
I'm using the
again,
word
what are we
right now
talking
in this
about?
modern form, I said, you know who I'm talking about, the people who are
No,
native to
sister.
America.
No, listen again. This term did not get referred to American Indians until 1970. So anything before that is
Brother,
incorrect.
we know that the Indians are Native Americans, regardless if y'all want to disagree when the word Indian
No, we
came up
know.
in
No,
your
no, no.
Christopher
Listen,
Columbus.
I already
Any
told you, sister, all American Indians,
anybody
listen
born
again,
on the land is
is a Native
Native
American. All
American.
American Indians
Anybody.
are Native Americans, but not all Native Americans are American Indians. I said this in the
Don't
beginning,
try to
sister.
help him because when I was trying to use the word in this modern term, he tried to be slick and wanted me to
No,
identify
I'm not being slick, sister. I
Indian.
started the statement with
Brother,
telling you
where did
all
y'all get
American
the name Indian?
Indians,
Where did
again,
why,
all
why did
American
they call
Indians
the
are
indigenous
Native
people?
Americans.
Why
All
did they call
American
the indigenous
Indians,
people Indians?
are you
Why did they
listening?
call the indigenous Indians? Why did they call them that?
Why do
If I
some
if I
tribes call
if I
themselves?
may interject, Bones,
No,
because
Hold
not
on,
some
hold on,
tribes.
hold on, Neil.
No, all
Hold,
tribes don't call themselves indigenous Americans.
I didn't say that. I said, when did they start calling the indigenous people Indians? Where did the name Indian come from?
Indians come from Los
thank
Indios,
you.
children of God. It's a Spanish phrase. That's where it comes from.
So the Spanish
Los,
name y'all, or y'all named
Los,
y'all?
no, the term Indian comes from Los. I'm giving you the Spanish term for it. Los Indios, meaning children of God.
Who started identifying your tribe
so
as
where she's going is you call yourself Indian because Christopher Columbus called y'all Indians. That's
No,
where
I call myself Indian because my family get their rights and who they are under federal terms by
federal
identifying
terms,
how the federal
terminology.
government
with the federal
identifies
term?
us.
Who came
It's
up
how
with
the
the federal term?
listen again, the federal government came up with the term, and that's how they identify us for resources, sister. Do you realize that these terms only are used with the US Census for the allocation of resources? You don't
Do
even
you
know how
call
they
yourself
apply.
Indian? Do you call yourself Indian?
Yes, I'm an American Indian.
Okay, who named you Indian? Who named your group of people? Who named y'all Indians?
American Indian just mean my political affiliation, sister. That's all it means.
You trying to skate around that?
No,
Who,
I'm not. I'm telling you
I'm
what it
not.
means.
Look,
It's a
because
political affiliation. It's
Bones,
no
who,
let
different
me
than
who
Bones,
gave
just
y'all
let me Bones and
a
Neil, let me just give you this piece right here. You can do with it as you will. Pre
yeah,
1960s, terms like Indian or American Indian were most commonly used by the U.S. government, media, and general public. 1960s, 1970s, activist groups such as the American Indian Movement or the AIM group began promoting Native American as a way to emphasize indigenous people's deep connection to the land and differentiate from the misnomer of Indian and so forth and so on. So then in the 80s, it became on the Census Bureaus and all of that stuff. So, I mean, I'm just trying to understand, like, what is the whole purpose of all of this?
these are just terms for the allocation of resources. When you say
Right.
American Indian, that's just your political affiliation. It's no different than saying Republican. Listen, it's no different than saying Republican or Democrat. That's all it means. That's all it means.
Nah, bro. You be listening to Minister Information. That's where you get your scholarship from.
No, I'm an actual registered Indian, sister. What are you
And I
talking
can
about?
tell you exactly when y'all start getting your registration. So
No, you can't, because my great grandmother them been registered when they first started doing registrations. What are you talking about? No freedmen, no nothing like that. We still have our land. What are you talking about? See, that what you think does not apply to everyone.
I didn't say that. Who
So
said
why are
that?
you trying to make it no, hold on, but you're trying to make it apply to me and it doesn't.
No, I'm trying to sit up here. You said it's not a theory, and I'm trying to tell you, yes, it is. Y'all believe y'all were already here, right?
Science would tell you. You have
No,
scientists that tells you that people were
but
already here, sister. What are you
no, it
talking about?
doesn't. Science do not say that. It says the Native
Oh, okay.
American.
We still doing
It
this
says the
Friday?
indigenous
Are we
people were
still
here.
doing this? Are we still having this debate
Yes, they
Friday?
do.
So we can actually get
Yeah,
on the computer,
if you
bring
go to
sources and post. Are we
yeah,
still doing this Friday? That's all I need to know. Because see, right now I'm out of town. I'm on the phone, so I can't put my sources up. We can do this Friday. Because see, the going back and forth, that's not going to help anything. See, proof is not a problem. I like to be on the screen and show.
Hey, bro,
We
I
could do
just
this all
like
night going back and forth.
people delusions because they got some self-hate going on, bro. It's embarrassing. Yet y'all
It's
really hijacking these people
she.
identity because you
Wait,
don't know who you are because of
whoa.
slavery,
I
Neo,
bro.
told you.
do you think that no, Neo, do you think that that could be possibly be reversed? That our identity was assumed for them?
Honey, they stuff
No,
is well
she don't.
documented.
No, she don't. She want
It's
us.
a regular
She
question.
no, she
It's
don't
I
yes or
think
just
that's
no.
asked. I
possible.
said no, because it's
I
well
No.
can't hear you.
documented.
I'm
They
sorry,
have their
I
stuff
couldn't hear
well
you.
documented.
Okay, let me ask you this. If they're the progenitors of being here in America first, right? How come we don't
Mhm.
see any significant footprint in them
Footprints
in any
at
type of
all.
culture in the
Wait, hold on.
government,
At
Repeat
in
that.
all.
Hold on,
academia,
I
or
can't hear.
anything?
No, ask that question again, sis.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I say that if they're the beginning of the of races being here, or people being here, how come we don't see any footprint of them in academia, in culinary, in government? Because we got to remember, even in the 1700s, we had melanated people in high government official places. Now, remember, these niggas couldn't vote. So who put these niggas in charge of these white folks?
What you talking about, sis?
Oh, okay, there we go.
Like, look. The
Yeah,
point
slow it
is,
down.
yeah, no, it's not.
Slow it down. Slow it down
No,
for
how can you
sis.
to slow down if it just don't even make sense? Who said that those y'all say that y'all were already here? And I say, yeah, there was some people that was here long before we got here, and it's not you people. You
Who's that? It
intermediate
was.
with you're still in their identity, and then it's well documented who these people are. That's why
And
I cannot wait till I get into the Black Seminole tribe, right? I can't wait to talk about the Morons, right? The
okay.
Spaniards who brought some Africans over here. I can't wait to address all that because it's well documented that Africans ran into these people reservations. That's why you can
We
find
never said
people.
that they did it. We
Okay,
agreed with you that
but
they did it.
reason
So my
why I
question
say
to
it's
you
a
is after
theory.
this is if they were already here and they're the beginning of everybody being in America, you're saying that they were here and we're assuming their identity. We're telling you that
Yeah,
that's in reverse. So my question
no,
to
it's
you
not.
is now is my question to you is this: why do we not see them in anything important in the
What you
fabric
mean?
of America?
Don't you eat corn?
That ain't from them.
What?
That ain't from them.
Who you think came with corn, baby? I got to give you a history lesson like I had to give Callie about corn.
Yeah, please do, because yeah, teach it to me like I'm a 2-year-old.
Okay, so corn came from Mexico. You know
Mm-hmm.
that, right?
Right.
So you that.
So corn came from Mexico. So how does that translate to these Siberian Mongolians?
They migrated and they moved up and they integrated with the other people, the civilizations of everybody, what they call the Indians that were nomadic, more nomadic people who move with the herds and all that stuff. That's how corn got into America,
So you saying
sis.
corn? You saying corn came from the Americas, correct?
Corn came from Mexico. If you want to say
No,
America, if you
okay,
say the
because
America,
that so
hold on. No,
corn
if
came from the America. I'm not saying America. I'm saying Americas. It came from the
that's why I
Americas, correct?
feel
And
like
Mexico is part of the Americas.
okay,
It was part of the Americas.
you said cuss because Mexico, the region of Mexico, is considered what they call North America or the Americas. So that's why I said, wait, hold up. No, I'm trying to establish a Pacific region where we know your people were not at in Mexico, where corn comes from, the maize,
Okay, so
right?
Mexico
now
is North
my question
America.
to
You
you
do
is
know that, right?
America, Mexico
So
is on what side of the world?
I just said that I heard her when she said Americas because Mexico is considered North America. I just said that. I said, but I
Okay,
specifically broke it down to a region where I know our black asses were not at.
Okay, that's incorrect too. Also, however, so corn is, so we've established that corn is it comes from the Americas. So now I need you to integrate and tell me how that fits into the Siberian Mongoloid being over here with corn.
The Siberia, you talking about the Asians?
I'm talking about the these Native Americans, the Tontos, the $5 American Indians. I'm talking about them.
You talking about the $5 theory? The Indian, from my understanding, was white folks who was buying their.
They all white folks, as far as I'm concerned. So
That's not a theory,
And
though.
it's not just white folks.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a theory. It actually happened.
Right. You can look that up on U.S. Census.
White folks who bought their Indian cards. So that's irrelevant to the conversation about, you asked me where can we see these people imprint in American culture, and I asked you, did you eat corn?
It's extremely relevant because you contradicted yourself by saying Mexico, and Mexico is on our side of the plane. When these Native Americans, they don't have corn over in Siberia. They don't have corn over there. If they came over here and assumed corn and maize, then they got it from this side of the world.
The Americas.
They got it from the Americas.
They got it from over here. If they're coming from a whole nother place.
I'm gonna say this one more time, really slow. I said Americas, Mexico is a part of North America.
And we were all over North America.
But I'm breaking it down to a Pacific region.
What region of America?
You people who are still the Native Americans, indigenous or Indian identity, where we know that y'all were not at when corn was discovered, right?
What area are you asking? The Yucatan?
Your original statement was saying that what you was alluding to, what I understand, what you was alluding to is that the Native Americans, because you put the word corn into the conversation, and we all four of us have stated and agreed that corn comes from the Americas. So how does that tie in to the Native Americans?
Ma'am. I specifically acknowledge that Mexico is in the Americas.
We understand that, but that's not my question to you, Miss Ma'am. That's not my question. My question to you is, can you now explain to me how the Native American and the word corn fit in together?
You asked me where can we see them doing anything important in the influences, right? And I specifically like to use corn because it's the most popular agriculture that we know, that specifically the Native Americans, the Indians, or the indigenous people gave to the settlers. And they have an oral tradition that they got their corn when they traveled down to the Mayans, southern part of Mexico, where corn was discovered over 9,000.
That is not the Indian story of corn, of maize. No, you're wrong, sister. That is not the indigenous story of creation of maize. Maize, listen again, maize comes from two grasses. It's two grasses that the indigenous people fused together to create maize, and it's not even the same corn that we have today.
Who said that?
This is the history.
Listen, Bones, he's getting that history from a Native American. A Native American told her this story.
No, see, that doesn't work because some of us travel again.
Theory. After he told me that to debunk the theory, I went and fact checked him, and I saw that he was correct.
No, that's not correct.
It was correct.
Okay, so if you said you looked it up, hold on. I got one simple thing. Give me the name of the two grasses that created what we know as corn today. If you looked it up, you would have seen this. What are the two grasses that they?
One of the corns is called.
No. I didn't say corn. I want to make sure you hear me.
It started from a wild grass called Tenostein or something like that.
Yes, and they mix two grasses together to create it.
So, but regardless, again, because I'm not going to let y'all escape from this. My point was, where did it come from? Where was it originated from?
The Yucatan Peninsula is where maize come from.
Southern Mexico. That's
America. You do know there's no such thing as borders. There's no such thing as South, North, and Central America. That's all European terms. You do know this, right? There's no, listen,
Can't believe
there
I'm
is,
killing our theory with corn. This is
no, no, no,
sad.
no. I'm telling you
No, you
again.
actually did not.
Look,
You proved
No,
it. You
you're
said
looking bad. There's no
Is
such thing as North, South, and Central America. Those are man-made terms at this time. People can walk back and forth. What are you talking about?
there a place called Mexico?
Now there is.
Okay, so at one point, where were the Mayans? Where did the Mayans live at?
Not Mexico. That's the
They lived in
Mexica. That's the
they lived in
Mexica.
part
The
of the
Mayans
American
come from out the Yucatan Peninsula.
Mexico, right?
Yes, the term Mexico comes from an indigenous people called the Mexica.
Okay, so again, my statement was when she asked me what did these people contribute to, I said we can start with the corn because
They
that is
didn't contribute. They didn't contribute. They didn't contribute
But
any corn.
but
And
like
you
the
were saying
sister
that they came
told
from
you,
Mexico.
if these people came, if these people you talking about have
They
lineage
came
to
from
Siberia
somewhere
and they came from
else.
someone else, they came from someplace
They
else.
came to here.
They
They
came
came
here.
to here
There was
to
a
get
people
the
here
corn.
already.
There were people already here.
those people that was
God
here.
damn. Like, what?
Have you ever seen the murals of Chichen Itza? Hold on, sister. Have you ever seen the murals of Chichen Itza? Have you ever seen the murals of Chichen Itza? Hmm?
Brother, when did
I'm
these people
asking.
get the corn?
I'm
When did
asking you
they
a question.
corn?
See what I'm saying? You cannot answer a question with a question. I'm asking you. Have you?
Never seen them. Now, my question is,
Hold on. Are you gonna let me finish? Are you gonna let me finish? I asked you this because if you see the murals, you can look them up online. The people look like us. The corn that they have. See, if you don't know the history of the area, what?
I'm
Hold on. If you
like
don't know the history of the area, what are you talking about?
Hold
If
on,
you don't,
Leo. Hold
if
on.
you don't
Let
know
him
the
finish his
history of
point.
the area, if you don't know the history of Chichen Itza, if you don't know the history of the Yucatan, if you don't know about the Olmec, the She people, how can you even have this conversation?
brother, how can you have a conversation when you don't even know what the
Well,
fuck?
I'm
she's
telling you
having
about
she
the people.
listen,
No,
she's
when you about
having the hold on, y'all, hold on. She's having the conversation because some Native American guy she talked to told her these things. This is how
okay, and I'm
she's
gonna
having the
correct and I'm
conversation.
gonna correct Callie again because he keeps doing what the same shit. I can say the same thing 100 times, and he's gonna tell you what I said. I
What is
said that the Native American, the guy who I talked to, told me to ask Callie when did his people get corn. And when I asked him why is that relevant to the Indian theory, because he said that the corn came from South Mexico where the Mayans were. Right? So when the Native American told me that, I didn't just run with that, Callie. I fact checked him.
The
And he
point
was
is,
correct.
Leo, corn comes from here, though.
Oh my
It
God.
comes from here. Those people came from somewhere else, and we were all in so-called Mexico too. We were moving around this whole fucking
Why
land.
you didn't just say that? It took y'all 30 minutes for y'all to say y'all was in Mexico too?
We've been
Leo, we
saying
been
this.
You've
said
been
that.
saying that. Florida
We
was
been
part of
said
Mexico.
that.
Even
What are you
part of
talking
all of
about?
Texas was part of Mexico. So it was all here.
Because when I asked you about the Mayans,
Just
why
like,
you didn't tell me y'all were the Mayans? When I said
ju-
the Mayans, the one who
No,
discovered
no,
corn.
no, no. Not now. You're twisting it, sister.
No, hold
Nobody's
on.
saying that. No,
So y'all
nobody's.
live with the
Listen,
Mayans?
nobody's saying that we're the Mayans been gone. And matter of fact, that term Mayan is not even their name. That's not what them people even called themselves.
But
They
you
call
know who
themselves
we
the sheep.
talking about. It doesn't matter. You know who
They
we
call
talking about.
again. That's not what them people call
Did
themselves.
y'all coexist with the Mayans, brother?
The Mayans, no, because that
Oh,
there is a European term. You understand?
oh,
Some of us
the people who the European term of the people
are
who
you gonna
stay,
let me? Are you gonna let me
bro.
finish
You
talking? Or are
trying
you
to
gonna
play
cut me?
semantics, bro? You
No,
trying to play
I'm not.
Leo,
How would you know if I'm doing something?
Leo,
You won't even let me speak.
Whether you think he's trying to play semantics or not, just let him get his point off and then come back and say what you got to say.
You cut me off every
Let
word.
him get his semantic off and then come back and say, brother, you're playing semantics. This is what I said.
Okay.
Okay. Again, when you're asking about the history of these areas and stuff, you yourself don't know the history of these areas. You
You know,
yourself don't. Can I finish?
It
You
sounded
don't
like
know the
me
names of the
earlier.
people. You don't know the names of the people. I'm naming you what the people call themselves. I'm telling you the history of these people. Now you can take these names and you can look it up and do the research. Because we have a whole conversation Friday and you can see for yourself. But if you're trying to answer things about people that you do not know, that's the mistake.
Brother, the mistake is that you're stealing other
Uh,
people's identity. That's the mistake here.
well, listen,
How?
do your
The mistake.
research, do your
You have
research,
She
and
put
be
said,
the
prepared to
she
be
said,
embarrassed Friday. That's
she
it.
said,
you
brother,
are
she said, we're stealing other people's
you are
identity, y'all.
I do.
Like,
so disrespectful.
like
And
Can
so
you
disrespectful.
can you
It's so
explain how?
disrespectful.
she
Callie,
can't
what
tell,
we got to
she
stop
can
doing,
tell you
Callie?
how.
No,
I
Callie, we got to stop doing this
it's
because it
so
distracts.
disrespectful.
It distracts
Because
from what
I'm
was
seeing
going on. Because no matter what we show or say to
one thing
her,
about
listen,
me,
we can have 5 tribal chiefs here. 5 tribal chiefs that can show her the indigenous history. She's still not going to change her
She's not
opinion.
gonna see. It's not gonna. But she's
But
not
Callie,
gonna.
all that happened
Yeah.
tonight is,
It don't. It
Callie,
don't
hold on.
matter
All that
what
happened
you show
tonight,
her. It
the
don't matter
people
what
that
you
want
show
to
her.
know,
I
She's
bring
not
people,
going to
I
go
bring
for
5
it.
indigenous people who don't look nothing like your people
again,
and say they are a
Callie,
tribe and they tell a different story.
Callie,
Would
can you
you
do me a
accept
favor,
their
Callie?
source?
Okay, hold
The
on.
people that want to learn, the people that want to learn, the people that do
Keep God to
genealogy, the people
me
that
so you
want
All
to
right,
can
all
know,
right.
we're
Hold on, Neil.
stopping
Hold on,
them.
Neil. Hold on, Neil.
learn.
No, I get it.
See,
No. I
we're really
listen.
stopping them.
Listen. The only reason that's why I asked y'all, did y'all want to let her up? Okay. Now the
I have no
problem,
problem with it.
the problem with her being up is she's not going to listen to nothing you say. She's going to overtalk you, and you're not going to get it in. But now you see. You get what I'm saying? Now we see what we're dealing with,
Sad.
and
You should be ashamed of y'all stealing on people's identity, bro.
How?
Because you
Can you
don't know you
explain to
don't
us? Can you
because you're
explain to the
ashamed of
audience how we're
it.
stealing their identity? Can you explain that to us? Can you break that down for us?
Oh, okay. How you want me to? Let's see. Let's go with the basic. You say that do y'all not refer to those people as
hold on, Neil. Somewhat for some reason you're like popping. I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
it's really staticky.
Like it's like really, yeah. We're trying to hear you, but you're kind of like popping.
Mr.
I don't know if it's headphones or a connection or something. But go ahead and talk though.
I don't have no headphones in, so I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know. Yeah, you popping real bad though. Go ahead though. Go ahead.
Go in and go back out. So I can explain to her how y'all hijacking these people's identity.
I mean, yeah, try that. Try to go out and come back in, and you got the flow when you come back in.
Yeah, Callie, all I was saying is if she's not really here to research and learn, all
No,
we're doing
she's
is
not.
hurting the people in the chat. That's all
She's
we're
not.
doing.
I just
We're
wanted
turning
y'all
them
to
off and we're
see.
hurting them.
No, I get it. She's not going to listen. She's already indoctrinated with what she wants to believe about Africa and about us. And you can even hear the disrespect in her as she wants us to respect her Africanness, but she wants to disrespect us as American Indians. Okay. But I just wanted y'all to see that. I mean, you dropped a whole lot of stuff like listen, that whole little what you say in 1950, that's a big
Yeah,
jewel right there.
1953.
The termination of the tribes, that's a big jewel right there. You feel what I'm saying? And I think we need to do something on that, but for you to tell us we're stealing people's culture, now I'm so interested, y'all, to hear how we're stealing their culture.
I got it.
All right. Because I got to know what their culture is.
Right. I got to know this.
So this is what
Yeah,
she
I'm
said.
listening.
We're stealing their culture. All right. So then when she comes back, she's going to explain to us how she's stealing their culture. Now go ahead and explain the corn thing real quick before I add her back in. She ain't came back just yet.
Yeah, all I was
Explain the
saying
corn
about
thing.
corn is, which the sister didn't know, the corn is made from 2 grasses that our ancestors cultivated thousands and thousands of years ago, and it spread it out from there. That's why I asked her, has she seen the murals in Chichen Itza? Has she seen the pictures of the pyramids? So now she has to explain why these Indians and all the pyramids in Mexico are dark skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when these people did their own portraits, they're dark skinned.
So from what I hear, she has a thing. She's irritated at the fact that nobody wants to be African, or we don't want to be African. Okay,
It's not even that.
No.
Money play.
No, this ain't a money play for her. This isn't a money play for her. This is hold on, Neil. This isn't a money play for her. This is her really feeling like we're ashamed to be African. You you feel what I'm saying? And we're trying to tell her, my nigga, we ain't African, my nigga.
And if we were African, we wouldn't be ashamed of it.
Hold on, Neil. I'm finna drop it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would we be ashamed to be African? If we were African, we're just not African. I'm dropping it in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's all
Neil.
that's happening.
Hold on.
She got her question list from her handlers now. Callie, you know I done been around a long time.
I know, Bones,
what's going on.
but what I wanted the people to see, I just wanted y'all to sit back and listen and just notice that it don't matter what information you give her, she's going to dispute it. Like she's already Africa, Wakanda forever, and she's mad because we don't agree with her in Africa. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, she's not going to listen to anything we have to say, but just let her go. Like, so because we can come back later and deal with it. But go ahead, Neil. We're still in the people's culture. Tell us how we're still in the people's culture.
Really got to stop, because my argument is not that I want y'all to be from Africa. I don't give a fuck if y'all identify as African or not. My problem is that I done sat among these people. I don't ate among these people. I don't have conversation. I've learned from these people, the indigenous people. And I feel like it's very disrespectful that y'all are hijacking their religion based off of half scholarship and your confirmation biases. You ignore all the other facts that are being displayed, but you would sit up here and say, oh, I'm only going to go by what my family tell me, and ignore the other 400 million people that live in America with you. So that's what the thought that she want us to be from Africa. So, but I don't care what you identify. Like, literally, I'm still cool with you and you voted for Trump. So it's really not that serious. But what I don't like is when I see people doing wrong to another group of people because they have an identity crisis. That's it. That's all.
Never mind. These same people disrespect us. Never mind that. We're going to ignore that. But you want to stand up for them because you agree with them.
This is a question, Callie.
I still love them, but they call me a man all the time. So sometimes
I just have a question.
But
I'm just trying to figure out how do you disrespect other people's elders, all these elders
in their culture,
and how do you disrespect our elders? And you claim to be so pro-black and so for our people, but you disrespect our elders who say they're not African, they're Indians, but you disrespect them. You disrespect them by trying to make them African or make their grandchildren African, and then
that's a triggering talking point for your people. That's the reason why you keep saying it, even though
I'm dead serious. You're very disrespectful towards our elders who I done named many times. Hold on, Neil. You're very disrespectful towards our elders who from our past. I'm talking about from the celebrities to people who actually marched with civil rights. You're very disrespectful. When them people said they were Indian, people are telling you who their grandmothers said they were. And you, because you want to be from Africa, or you want everybody else to be from Africa, or whatever your Africa hang up is, you disrespect our elders, but claim to be so pro-black though. You claim to be so for our people. You claim to be so for our people and so stand up, oh, I love my people, but you disrespect our elders, Neo.
And I'm standing up for the truth and you can't handle it.
Like I said, you disrespect
hold on, Callie, can I?
I'm disrespecting black.
I just wanted to ask something. I'm trying to understand, how does she know everybody's family history, but you don't even know our names? But listen to me, sister. But listen, you're trying to tell me that my family isn't who my family is. Do you realize I'm always, hold on, I'm always with my tribe. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Friday, we're going to have fun with this because I am a tribal member who's always talking to the tribe. I'm online with the tribes talking. So that's what I'm saying again. You have to stop painting this with a broad brush, because you're going to meet people that's like me, that are indigenous, that have indigenous roots, that don't tie back to Africa, that have always been a part of our tribe.
Can you put up a picture of yourself?
No, he can't do that right now.
No, why would I have to do that for you when everybody around? Listen, sister, you the one that don't know me. These people here know me.
Right, we
Why
know
do I have
him.
to put a picture up? They know me.
He's in videos. He done been in everything. It's
I don't
videos
go
of
to
him
the
and everything.
sister. I go to the Indian mounds. I can go to the Indian mounds with my brother Cali, and we go there teach these children about American Indian history. We're actually doing this. We're actually on tribal ground. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Where can I go to get a picture of you?
Listen, Neo, how are we still in the culture?
When
How are we still in the culture?
Let's stick to it. How are we still in the culture?
How are
Let's
we
get
still
to
in the
that.
culture? Tell us how we still in the culture.
There are over 575 tribes that we know are recognized by the government, federal government,
No,
right?
that's federal, and there's over 1,000. There's over 1,000 tribes that's recognized by the state, and then there's another seven. Hold on. There's another 783 tribes that are recognized by local governments. I already know the history. Where you want to go with it? I'm telling you, I'm a registered American Indian that actually go through politics, that actually be in Washington, that actually be in local government meetings. So where do you want to take this next?
And let me know when I can answer the question.
All right, because I really want to get back to us still in the culture. But go ahead.
All right, so we understand, thanks for the history lesson, but I was going somewhere with my statement that we understand that the federal government does recognize 574 different tribes. He is correct. There are other tribes that are not federally recognized, but we know that people give them recognition, right? Or local recognition, right? The point that I was trying to make, that these Native Americans that I've been talking to, or the indigenous people that I've been talking to, we know that they are Seminoles. We know that some of these people are Navajos and whatever, so on and so on. The further west you go, you meet different types of tribes, right? When I say that you're still not getting, you guys have the nerve to actually say that these people are not from this land. Right? You make comments saying that what did they contribute to America culture and history, knowing that these people gave these people agriculture, they gave them corn, they gave them tobacco, they taught these people how to fish in the different rivers and lakes, how to identify which foods are poisoning and not poisoning, how to raise cattle, right? Even though we do not those times now.
Hold on. Let her go. Because we don't want to interrupt her. Because then she's gonna say you interrupted her. Let her go, and we'll come back.
I think it's disrespectful to sit up here and make comments saying that these people are hijacked, or like the sister Wanda trying to say, how do you know it's not in reverse, that they stole our identity? When these people have it well documented what part of North America they come from, when they met with the Mayans, got the corn and brought the corn back up. And the only thing y'all got is a bunch of vain philosophies about who your grandparent might say you might be related to a Native American or an indigenous person, right? Nobody's disagreeing with y'all that y'all don't have heritage. I said it's well documented that Africans ran into these people's own land.
Neil, give me 1 second. Neil. Now I'm just trying to get clarity. Because I don't think I have clarity. You're saying we're stealing these people's culture because of what again? What were the specific things?
You're stealing our identity by telling them
identity
native to this land that y'all are.
Now what? Now
I don't understand. I don't. Hold on, Kelly. Let me just dialogue with her for a brief second.
Okay, go ahead.
Ms. Neo, how does that translate that we're stealing their culture by saying that we have our own presence and our own culture and our own identity separate from them?
It's not separate. You ever looked at some
two things can be true at the same time, correct?
Have you ever looked at Native American artwork?
Two things can be true at the same time, correct?
They artworks.
Two things can be true at the same time, correct?
I'm gonna answer that question, so I guess you haven't. So have you ever?
No, I can't. No.
You can't answer her question. Two things. Yeah, your phone is breaking up bad. But two things can be true at the same time, right? Yes or no?
Yeah. I asked her a question first. I didn't say that it's not.
No, she answered your question. Then she asked, can two things be true at the same time? She did answer.
Yes, two things can be true at the same time, but I asked her a question before she asked me that. So you're not going to answer my question?
When you use the word but, that means you negate everything that.
Ma'am, are you going to answer my question?
I can answer
Neo,
your question, but I'm
Neo,
making clarification at
you,
the same time.
she did answer your
You keep
question and
spinning your
then
So what was
wheels
asked
my
you
as
a
if you're
question?
trying to be
question.
smart when you're
What
not.
was my question?
We asked how were we still in the culture.
No,
She
what was
asked you
my
that.
question? What was my question that I just asked her
You asked
before
her the
she asked me,
question.
can two things be true at the same time?
No,
Wanda,
at the time.
Wanda,
Listen, you
Wanda,
switched it.
They said your volume is low, Wanda.
It's
Neo
low.
X,
Yeah,
you,
You're low.
you switched your question about the artwork when she was trying to ask you,
When
can
she
two things be
can
true at the
two
same
things be
time?
one, and then
No,
you
no, no.
went into
I asked her when she was asking me about how do y'all steal the identity, and I specifically asked her. I said it like 3 times. I said, "Have you ever seen their artwork?" And then she asked me, "Can
What
two
that
things
has
be
to
true
do
at
with
the
the
same time?"
identity?
You asked
No, no, no.
you asked me that after I asked you,
After
can
she
after.
two things
answered
be
you.
true
You
at the
asked
same
after
time?
that. You
You
When
asked
did
me
did.
she
that
You
answer?
asked
after
after.
That's her
after that.
volume is really low, and y'all know me. I'm gonna go to the playback. I
Okay,
didn't
let's
hear her
go.
No,
say
So
see,
anything.
is my volume better?
And
we asked you about the culture. You answered that. Then she said, "Can two things be right at once?" Then you
Be true at
said,
the same time.
and then you said, "Have you seen their artwork?
I
Have
didn't
you
hear
seen
if
that?"
she didn't say that. If she did say that, I did not hear you.
You
Right, but
didn't
they
hear me
did. The
because you said
audience
you're not
did
gonna answer
say
my
your
question.
volume was down, so you know I didn't do it on purpose.
You not, so you're not gonna answer my question. That's what you said to me. And I said,
Right, because
I'm
I
giving
didn't
you a
hear you,
question.
and I didn't. Okay, let's commute. Let's pause
All right,
because
so
I
let's go back.
clearly
So the
pause,
thing,
pause,
listen, Neo.
pause,
Hold on,
pause,
Neo.
pause,
We
pause.
asked
To
you
get
about
clarity,
culture, Neo.
Callie, let me get clarity right now to answer. She asked you, can she dialogue with me? I know you got a tag team to try to help. Now, she just asked me, can two things be true at the same time? Yes. I didn't hear you, I guess, when you said that the first time. But
Okay,
again, the audience already said that your mic was low.
okay.
So
Is it
it is
better? Is it better
possible. I
now?
didn't just hear you.
Okay, is it better now? Can everybody
You
hear me? Is
still
it better
sound
now?
low, but I can hear
I
you.
still
I got the phone to my ear.
I still sound low to everybody else.
Sound real low.
I don't know what to tell y'all. Uh, let me take off my Bluetooth and maybe that might help better.
She was saying two things can be
Is
true.
that
She
better?
said yes. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot better.
Okay. Okay, I disconnected my Bluetooth.
Now, two things can be true. She agreed. Y'all agreed. Two things can be true.
Okay, can we all right, can we go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then I asked you, did you ever compare the artwork? Have you seen where the area that y'all claim y'all from? Did you ever compare that to the artwork you find from the Native Americans on the west of Americas? Have you
Well,
ever compared?
I don't think any of us actually claim to be from one specific area. That's number one. And then secondly, I have seen pictures of so-called Native Americans, and I also have seen pictures that date back to the 12th and 13th centuries from other museums across the world, where they only depict 4 different types of people, and that's going to be your Asians, your Europeans, your Americans, and what's the other? And Africans. So and the reason why I'm bringing that up, because in the Americans, those pictures and those artifacts look just like you and I,
No,
different
well, I'm
and
not okay.
separate from
Maybe. Hold on. Maybe I need to clarify. I'm not talking about the characteristics of what the people look like. I'm talking about the artwork for is the pottery, the feathers, the decorations. That's
And
what I
so am
meant. I
I.
probably should have said. Hold
And
on.
so am I.
No, you're talking about how the people look in the paintings. That's
No,
not
I'm
what I'm
not.
talking about.
I'm
You
talking
going
about
out, Neo?
real artwork that's depicted from what people saw with their own eyes and knew to be true, that there are 4 types of people in
Ma'am,
the
that's not
world.
what I'm talking. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the artifacts like the clay, the pottery, the feathers, the flutes, the drums,
Who that
the
come from?
artwork,
Who that
the
come from?
artwork, ma'am, can I
It comes
finish
from
my
the people,
question?
don't it? It comes
Ma'am,
from the people,
ma'am,
don't it?
Hold on, Wanda.
ma'am,
It comes from the
Hold
people,
on.
don't it?
ma'am. My
Hold
point
on.
was, did you ever compare the artwork from the East Coast Indians from the so-called West Coast Indians? Because according to Cali, Y'all are not the same group of people. Those people live in teepees and whatever the fuck he be saying about them people, disrespecting the hell out of them. He says y'all come from the coastal line, East Coast.
And I answered
So
the
is that a
question. I
true
said,
statement or
yes.
not?
But that doesn't mean we wasn't roaming. That doesn't mean we wasn't roaming the land,
Not
Neo.
what you
I'm
said.
trying to understand. But
That don't mean
Indians
we
on the
don't
East
roam the
Coast have,
land.
but see, this is the problem. Every tribe's artwork and tribal traditions are different. None of them are uniform. What my tribe does is not the same thing that another tribe gonna do.
That's incorrect.
What you know?
Neil,
What
what tribe? What
we?
tribe are you from? And what tribe? What part of
Yeah,
Africa
please.
tribe that you're from in Africa, if I may ask?
First of all, I'm not in no tribe from Africa. I was born here in America. That's a
Okay,
dumb question. Now, if you want to ask me where I'm from, I'm from Florida.
Why is that
If
dumb
you
though?
understand, now
Why
if
is
you
that
want
a
to
dumb
ask me,
question? Why is that a
because
dumb
y'all
question,
again,
Neo?
okay, reason why it's a dumb question,
Because
because
you got so
again,
much information
there's
on
no hold on,
everybody
brother.
else's
Look, yeah,
families and
you got
tribes.
triggered, right?
Whoa.
You got triggered.
Hold on, Neo. No, you can't say it's a dumb question because you can't tell us who you come from. You say it's dumb because you can't
Who is
tell
your
us
tribe?
you can't tell us who you come from. So it's a dumb question to you. But yet you can sit on this panel and tell everybody else who they are and who they ain't. But you can't even tell us who you are.
well, let me backtrack that question. Let me recant that question. Do you
Descendant
subscribe?
of an African slave who we know that these people stripped us from, and to sit up here and ask me what's the name of my tribe in Africa over something that happened 400 years ago. That's why it's dumb.
Do you subscribe to being an African American?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so if you subscribe being from if you're an African American, that means you have some ties or lineage to Africa. So I'm asking you, which part of
Ma'am.
Africa do your
Ma'am.
people come from?
Please. I believe you're smarter than this.
That's
I'm gonna
not a
say this
stupid
one more
question.
time.
That's a very
I'm gonna
that's
say
a
this
very
one more
that's
time.
that's a
That's
very
not a
Why
stupid
would
question
you
at all.
ask me? Why would you ask me? Why would you ask me to name a tribe in Africa
I
that
didn't ask you to
happened
name a
from
tribe.
400 years
I
ago?
didn't ask
If
you. I
I
didn't ask you to name a tribe. I said what?
acknowledge
I
that
said
I am a descendant of
which
an
part of
African slave.
Africa does your people
Home,
come
see, yeah,
from?
that's why you want to interrupt me because you know that shit sounds
She said
stupid as hell.
No,
she said
no.
what part of Africa
What
do you
part
come
do you
from? She's not
subscribe to
asking
is what
about
I'm
your
asking
tribe.
you.
What part of Africa? Just stop and listen for a second, my nigga. Damn.
I know you trying to prove yourself to be so right
Watch this again. Watch this
so
again,
fucking
because I'm gonna
stupid.
again
And
show you how
I'm trying
dumb
to
this
keep my
is.
motherfucking
That's
composure
the
with your
truth. I'm gonna
motherfucking
show
ass.
you how
You
dumb
want to
you
make me
have.
go off and be
Get
a real
triggered all you
motherfucking
want.
nigga.
You the one stealing these people's shit, bro.
No, we ain't
You
stealing shit, nigga.
This
We ain't
is a
stealing a
distraction,
motherfucking thing.
Callie. Listen, somebody is feeding you your questions and your information because, again, how can you tell us who we are not and you don't even
And
know
you
who
can't
you
even know who
are?
you are.
you
You don't know
don't
who
know.
the
You don't
fuck
have a
you
Everybody
are.
question.
stealing
Let her
somebody's shit, bro.
well,
Come
let her
on. You
answer.
don't know.
You can't
You
tell us shit
you
about
stealing
you and
another
your
people's people
African
identity.
heritage.
No,
You know
You
hold
can't
on,
tell us
Kelly.
shit about
Hold on.
you
hold on.
She's here wanting my
You
picture.
can't
She
tell
wants
us.
my picture so she can take it back to her group that they hang. Listen, I done been through this before. I've been doing this for years and years and years. See, this is why the indigenous tribes don't come forward because we don't have time for this foolishness because we're actually
Exactly.
having boots on the ground. Actually, in my community, hold on, let me finish because I don't have too much time. Let me finish to where you can go online. You can go online where Brother Cali came to my community that identifies as American Indians, where the government recognize and acknowledge us who we are in the farming that we do. So, sister, there's nothing that you or your group can say or do that can
What
take
group
away
is
who our family is.
this? What group? What group? What group I'm in? Since you think you know me so much. Because I'm not in no fucking group. I have common sense and I'm well educated and I can read. Just like your ass just sit up here and told these people Native American means born in America. But if you look up the definition of the word Native American, it's a member of any indigenous people of
Read,
North, Central, and South
read the
America,
full definition.
especially
Keep
those,
going.
especially
Keep going
those,
down.
especially those that are indigenous to what we know now as the continental of the United States.
And
So
keep
kiss
going. What's
my
the next
ass, bro.
definition? Hold
You
on. What's the
don't
next
you
definition?
gapping and gapping
What's
and
the next
gapping on the
definition?
different words.
What's
And the
What's the next
what's the next
definition up under
definition?
it? It has 1, 2, and 3. Don't play with me,
Oh, now
sister.
it's another. That was multiple definitions. But when I
I'm a
tried to say
Native
Read
American.
it all.
y'all ain't
Read
gonna
the
take
whole
that.
Read the
thing.
whole thing. Read. Don't pick and choose what you want to read. Read the whole thing.
Stop playing with us.
Oh, what part of Africa is you from? You
Read
can't even
the whole
speak your tribal language.
definition.
Speak some
Read
shit in
the
your
whole
tribal
definition.
language.
If you can't
Speak
read the
some
whole
shit.
definition, it's time for you to go, sister. Read the whole
Read the
definition.
whole definition. Read the whole definition. Not what you want to read. Read the whole definition.
So you
Right
trying
now,
to tell me
say
under the
something in your
definition of
native
Native
tongue.
American,
Shut up.
No,
Say
read
so
the
you
whole
something in
trying
your
to
native
definition.
say,
tongue.
read
Read
the
the whole
whole
definition.
definition.
Say
Read the
some
whole
shit.
definition.
Say some shit in
No, sister, we're not letting you off
Read
the hook.
your
read
You're
language
the
right
playing
now.
whole
semantics now. You're the
Neo.
Speak,
one playing.
Read the whole definition, Neo. That's all we
speak
asking
in
you.
language right now.
Are you
Speak
gonna
it.
read the whole? Are you gonna read
Speak.
the whole definition? Are you gonna read the definition or no?
I read it after he speak his. I read it.
Speak your African language.
Yeah. You can't
Speak your
speak. Captain,
Neo.
speak.
Speak your
Wait, Captain,
African
speak your
language.
language. Speak your tribal
Speak your
language.
African. I am
Speak
speaking
your
my
tribal
language.
language.
I
Speak
am
your
speaking my language.
Speak it
Neo,
right.
speak. Neo.
Y'all already
Hold on, Neo. You don't even know where the fuck you from, Neo. You got the nerve to
already
be Neo.
no.
You don't even know where the fuck you from, Neo.
Nobody
You
took your
can't tell
identity,
us. You can't tell us where you from in Africa. You mad because
brother.
you can't
Speak
go
it.
home. You
Speak
can't go
it.
home. You can't go home to your people because you don't
Speak
know where
it.
you come from in
Speak it.
Africa.
You don't
And
know
you
that,
got a problem. You got a
brother.
problem because
I
we
told
know.
you. That's why you
Hold
stealing
on.
somebody's shit.
Hold on.
I
Let me just put you in the back right quick. Because
bro,
hold on. You can't come up here. You don't know who you are on the land. I mean, back home, you got so much to say about other people's families, other people's culture, and you can't even tell us who you are, nigga. You can't tell us what your tribe is. You can't tell us who your language is. You can't even tell us what your fight is on this land, my sister. You can't even tell us I'm gonna add you back, Neo, but you can't even tell us what fight is. Okay, so we're African. You say we're African, so what? How does that help us in America? How does you telling us we're African, how does that shit help us in America? Because we gotta act. Just give me a second. We actually have a fight on this land. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have a fight. You're an African. You're an African. You don't have a fight on this land. What are we talking to you about? Your fight, so what? So if you're African, who cares? Your fight ain't over here. Go home. Go home and fight. What do you do in your fight back home is what I'm saying. See, you say these are stupid questions. You say these are stupid questions. They're only stupid because you can't answer them. Because if you could answer them, you would answer them. You would actually answer them. So it's only stupid when I say, well, who is your people back home? Who the fuck is your people? You're going to tell me who your people are back home. We know who our next of kin is on this land. You don't know who your next of kin is back home in Africa. You claim the whole continent of Africa. Or you say I'm from West Africa, and we keep trying to tell you we went over there and we populated West Africa and came back over here. You can tell everybody else everything about their tribe, their people. Who is the Catawbas and who is this and who is that? Who is your tribe, nigga? Who the fuck is your African tribe? Wakanda forever, nigga? Who the fuck? Nigga, you stealing. You want to talk about colonization? You're the colonizer, Neo. And I'll add you back in if you back there. But you're the colonizer. You niggas is running around here talking about you African. Even the Africans are saying y'all ain't African. The Africans don't even care about y'all. The Africans ain't even fucking with y'all. The Africans come over here and don't fuck with you niggas. And when you go over there, them Africans rob you niggas. And guess where you niggas, you American ass Africans, guess where y'all gotta go? Y'all gotta come back over here to America and live in America. So all I'm saying, my nigga, is this. All that Africa talk ain't respected over here. You talking that Africa shit from America, my nigga. Don't talk to me about how dope your house is from my fucking living room, my nigga. Take your ass home to your mansion. It's not a stupid question. It's not a stupid question.
Yeah,
You
read
niggas
the
don't
full
know?
definition.
Read the full definition, bro.
No, what I mean,
Oh,
did she ever read the full definition?
no, she wouldn't read it.
No, she's too
No,
busy
because
trying to prove us wrong because she don't want to answer any questions because she don't have any. She don't have the answers for
Because
it.
the
She just
moment
want
she
to try to
knew that
play
she would have
football
read
games
it,
with us.
anybody can type in on Google and it would tell you anyone born in America is a Native American. It's just that simple,
just
but
that
that's how
simple.
you know
Anyone
these
born on the
people,
land is
yeah, is a Native
a Native
American.
American.
That's just like she cannot get around that the first time that term was applied to people was 1960, 1970. And the only reason that happened was to get you to think there was another group that was supposed to get PIH, public Indian housing, which I bet she can't tell you nothing about.
And then for you to come, I mean, I waited to hear what is the culture we're stealing. Did y'all get what we stole?
I still ain't get the shit.
I didn't get what we stole.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it like a flash,
So
with a
this is what
flashlight
I'm
in the
saying.
daylight.
This is what I'm saying. You got our grandfathers, our people, our grandfathers who actually fought in these wars on these lands, who actually owned lands. Our grandparents they own businesses, they own things on this land, my nigga. Fought in every war, and granddaddies went back home to their acres of land. We contributed to this country. You feel what I'm saying? While our grandfathers was actually out here in these wars fighting on this land for real, for their land, you got these Asian, these people with these TPs, these niggas is in the circus, reenacting shit. They're
But you
in the
know what's
whole
even worse?
circus.
Do the sister even know about the Asian slave trade? Does she know about the Pacific slave trade, the coolie trade, that these
Nia,
people didn't get here to the 1800s?
Bones, she don't care. She does not
But
care.
that's what I said. But that's why I
If it
said
ain't
before that.
about, yeah, if it ain't about Africa, she don't care. She wants to disrespect us. And this is what I was saying, bro. This is what I was saying. This is what these so-called pro-black ass niggas, black power ass niggas, these niggas always talk all that black power and talk all how they so fucking for our people. Yet she will sit here and who said fucking what they talking about? You African, grandma. You African. Nah, I'm just saying, man, these niggas get on my nerves with all this Africa shit. But what makes me mad is the fact that you talk this Africa shit from fucking America. I don't respect it. You talk that Africa shit from here. Your fight ain't doing shit in America. Take your fight home to your people. Here's the problem. When you take your fight home to your people, though, you gotta know who the fuck your people is to even go home and fight with your people. Cause all them niggas don't like each other over there. It's different countries, different cultures over there. That's a big ass continent full of countries and different cultures. And a lot of them niggas is warring with each other right now. Who
But
do
that's
you
the
help?
funny
You
thing,
don't even
though.
know who to fucking help over there. Keep that
She
Africa talk.
she want to
My
tell
point
us
is
that.
this. My point, this is my point. So what? What good does it do for you to tell me I'm African in America? What does that help? How does that help my fight here in America? How does that help my fight where my ancestors owned land, fought in wars, contributed to this country, are old shit from the government that was taken from them? How does my African ass, the fight for my African ass, match up over in fucking, how do me being African work for me here in America? It don't. I'm a fucking foreigner. I'm a foreigner on the land if I'm an African. Take your African fight home. This the shit that make me mad. Take that shit home. Help your people back home. We boots on the ground here on our land for what our grandmothers them died for and fought for and marched for in the civil rights and shit. We boots on the ground here for that shit. What y'all niggas on? What y'all on? Niggas over here talking about Africa, Dr. Umar. Over here, Africa this. Motherfucking modern day Marcus Garvey sitting over here in America talking about Ifakunde, peace and black power, peace and black power, peace and black power. Take your peace and black power ass on over to Africa, nigga. Real shit. Y'all got it, man. Y'all got it. Yeah, like, nah. What I don't like is the fact that, yeah, it's a stupid question when you ask her, nigga, who is you from in Africa? Who is your people in Africa? Oh, that's a stupid question. Nah, it ain't a stupid question.
I thought it's pretty relevant and legitimate.
No, you know why it's stupid to them? It's because that's when they regurgitate that elementary school history lesson they got. Oh, our history was erased. They took our history, but no, not everybody, because some of us, we got records going back to the 1600s. I'm like, so who are you talking about? Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, I can't hear Callie at all. I thought it was me, but it's Callie. Are you on mute?
Yeah, I thought it was me. Yeah, I think he dropped off for a minute.
I think he dropped off.
But no, that's all I was saying before, is that I feel where Callie come from. Where you coming from with the situation where people try to tell you. But if a person don't even know their history, how can they tell you yours?
Exactly. Yeah, my great grandma, both of my great grandmothers, they were both born in 1889. Neither one has ever mentioned anything of Africa. We're talking about 25, 26 years right outside of slavery. They would have known. And my great grandmother, my mom's grandmother, she died in 1993. She was 104 years old. She never once mentioned anything from Africa. Never said we were Africans. She always told us what tribe we came from. Nothing from Africa.
Because the only thing what made our people believe that we was all African was that lie that they put on us in school called roots. Before then, wasn't nobody claiming that.
Exactly. I mean, and even they was exposed for being, the stories was exposed for being a lie.
Yeah, he got sued. He stole it from Harold Miner. The original story where he got roots from is called the African. Kunta Kinte, the name, the tribe was all made up by a white European dude.
Hey, y'all, am I back on here? Am I back in?
Yeah, you back.
Okay, my bad. My phone had died. I'm at the work spot. Man, hey, y'all, listen, I apologize. I just listen, man. I try to, kind of be cool when it comes to this shit. But when you got somebody telling you who you are, and they can't even tell you who they are, you feel what I'm saying? They gonna tell you who you ain't. Yeah, that shit gets old after a while. But what I wanted to tell y'all, just like I started off, and I'm gonna get ready to end this live. What I want to tell y'all, just like I told y'all starting this off, I'm proud of y'all. I'm happy of my Indian people, my Aboriginals, my North American Aboriginals, my reclassified American Indians of North America. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all because this is a hell of a time to be indigenous to this land. It's a hell of a time for us because we're seeing the anger. We're seeing the awakening. They're mad. That once, remember when this Africa shit was real popular? It was cool. And remember when we was kicking in the doors when it wasn't cool and we was getting punched in the face and stuff because it wasn't cool to say this shit? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, now our work is coming to the forefront. This is a hell of a time to be who we are. Hell of a time. This is why you're seeing that ship has sunk. That fucking African ship has sunk. Now, again, in no way are we trying to disrespect Africans. Okay? Hello. We're not trying to disrespect Africans, but we ain't gonna sit back and let y'all American African ass niggas disrespect us either. And y'all, yo, some of the shit like telling us we stealing motherfuckers' cultures, nigga, y'all stealing them niggas' cultures.
But Callie, think about it. She didn't realize how she shot herself in the foot. She sat here
Multiple.
and said, okay, there's 571 federal tribes. So we're supposed to believe you sat down with all these tribes and talked to all these tribes to tell us everybody culture is the same. Stop it.
Facts, facts. And again, you know, she wasn't going to hear nothing. Cause listen, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all during the time of this whole little slavery story, the American colonization plays a big part in this story. Pay attention, like this is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Do
The
they even
American,
know? Do they even know who created the history books? See, these people talk all this trash. They don't know the history books that we know. They didn't get created until the 1930s.
Facts.
Woodrow Wilson and them did this. They all worked hand in hand. The daughters of the revolution, the sons of the revolution. They gave us a created history. It's documented.
now before we go, now now that we got some before we go, let's deal with the corn again, guys. Let's explain the corn thing because she thinks that's a big. She thinks she's got a dagger right there in our story.
But she shot herself in the foot the whole time, trying to trying to place Native American into America and using corn, saying that that's where that was part of them. They still got it from America, regardless.
There's a documentary right now you can watch on YouTube with the scientists telling you they do not believe the ice bridge theory because there were people already here.
Already here, already here. But she's not gonna hear that. Listen, I told y'all. Listen earlier. I said this. I said for the people that's new to this information, it's gonna hit a lot of people. They're not gonna want to hear it like religion. Like remember when you thought when you was just so in love with Jesus, my nigga, like and you wasn't ready to hear that religions are man-made, and you wasn't ready to wake up from that. You wasn't ready to understand that you can't prove anything when it comes to religion. Okay. It's the same thing with this. Listen, y'all, we're going through the same thing right now because these pro-black, these so-called pro-black, they don't even want to believe that there were white slaves, y'all.
Wow.
They don't even want to believe that there were white slaves on this land. They don't want to believe that Negroes owned slaves right here on this land. You know why? Because they gotta be. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, it's going out a little bit.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Can you
Can
hear
y'all hear
us?
me?
Yes.
All right.
We hear you. We
Can
hear
y'all
you.
hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. They don't want to, you got these pro-black niggas, they don't want to hear nothing if it doesn't make them a victim. Okay, so they don't want to hear about white slaves right here in America. They don't want to hear. They don't. Oh man, Tia. I gotta bring you up real quick. Tia, you want to come up real quick? I gotta bring you. I gotta bring you up real quick. I was trying to get you up here.
Yeah.
That's my girl Tia. Um, she's also in season 2. I'm gonna drop the link to you just in case you want to come up because I was getting ready to close this out, but my sister popped in here, and I loved it. I love to hear my sister talk, man. I love it. I love to hear my sister. I don't know if you got time or not, but I'm gonna just drop the link in the chat. I'm gonna finish my point. If not, then I'm gonna go ahead and close this on out. But you guys, the point I was trying to make was she's not going to hear anything. These people, they don't even want to hear that they don't even want to hear that there were white slaves on the land. They don't want to hear that niggas own slaves right here in America, white slaves. They don't want to hear that because it doesn't make them the victim anymore. So when they talk this reparation stuff, they think reparations is only about them. But whoa, wait a minute. What happens when them white folks get reparations from your people? See, you don't even know your people owned white slaves. Why? Because you ain't did your genealogy in your family tree to know what your people was doing during a certain time.
Just to answer a question in the chat real quick. The AME Church was founded in 1816. And at this time, when they're saying African, it does not mean black. The first time in U.S. history where you can claim African American wasn't until the 2000 census. And this just answering the question that they had in the chat real quick.
No,
African Americans.
and they're not even going to want to go look that up.
That
Do
was
you
more
remember?
like, it was like more like European, right, Bones?
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
I said that was more towards the African part was more towards like a European status.
Yes, because what people don't know when they're saying African at this time, they're talking about the Dutch. The Dutch created the African language. The Dutch are called Afrikaners. African is a Dutch word. People just don't do research far enough.
Peace, Candy. What's happening, Candy? What's happening, Flock? What's happening with you? Especially neighbors. What's happening with y'all? Everybody checking in. My bad, y'all. I was kind of slow bus rider. What's happening? Ashley D, my sister Ashley D, Lisa M, Break Room is up in here. Shout out to all y'all. This is a new me. My sister Goddess Tia's up in here, man. I apologize, y'all. I was kind of going in, man. And Sheena, my sister Sheena Nicole, Miss Sean is up in here. Appreciated is definitely up in here, man. Listen, y'all. Y'all, man, listen. I just want to tell y'all, man. Y'all don't know how happy I am, how proud I am to be exclusive. What's happening, G-Dub? What's happening with you? Y'all don't understand how proud I am of us. This is part of the fight, y'all. Listen, y'all. This is a part of the fight. This is what we're teaching our children right now. What we're teaching our children right now is the ammunition that they're going to need to fight this war when we're gone. We have to leave them with ammunition. Not only ammunition to fight, we have to leave them with guidance. Did you hear her get up here and say, these people have an oral history, as if we don't have an oral history?
I can add
Also,
in real quick.
go ahead, brother.
Even on this point, when she said that these Siberians in the corn and they had to teach the Europeans how to farm. If those the same people, what was Martin Luther King talking about? Can somebody help me?
Come on.
And why do they have?
You
Why do
talking
they
about the Homestead Act speech,
The
bro?
Homestead Act, the Farming Act, the Confiscation Acts of 1982 and 1882 and 1885. So
Come
what is
on,
all
man.
this stuff talking about? Why did they need our people to teach them and somebody else taught them how to farm and grow this stuff?
and
Come
why do
on.
they have Indian schools to teach them why teach Indian to be an Indian? Shouldn't they already know that shit?
Now, before we go, while we here, let's talk about those Indian schools. What were these Indian schools, Bone?
The Indian schools, you know them today as HBCUs,
Hello.
farming and agriculture schools.
Mm.
I'm doing a segment on Mary McLeod Bethune. How do you say the nigga name? How do you say her
Yeah.
name? Respect
And
to
a
her.
lot of these schools, just because they said they're for us, the people that they named after is not us.
Sure
They're
ain't.
named after Europeans. That's why I tell people you got to do your research. Don't let
You
nobody
got
tell
to.
you anything.
12K, what up? What up? What's happening with you? Shout out to y'all checking in. Yeah, listen, y'all. Chief Thunderstorm checking in. What's happening with you? Listen, Thunderstorm. Um, y'all. God damn, like I just don't like to be disrespected in my family. You feel what I'm saying? In my and to hear somebody, they gonna push Africa on you or push their little Africa. That shit just do something to me. You get what I'm saying? If that's what you want to believe, like, and then the fact, listen, man, and then the fact that when somebody asks you about your African people, you can't tell me nothing about who you are as an African. Like that shit did something to me. While you sit up here and disrespect our ancestors, talking about those are trigger words. No, nigga, that's the truth. Okay, listen, y'all. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Did we have James Baldwin that said the Indian is you?
Yes, he did.
Yes, we did,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes,
We
he did.
know James Brown is an Apache Indian, right?
Yes, he is.
All right. We know Morgan Freeman tells you he's a Choctaw Indian, right?
He sure did.
The
He said he woke
Jackson
up one day
family.
he was African.
The Jackson family, Choctaw Indians, right?
Yep,
I'm
Chaka
just
Khan.
asking, I'm just asking for you to come along and tell people who they're not. I'm just saying, how is this not disrespectful to our elders who were saying long time ago, I'm not no African? How do you tell those elders? Because
Mm,
remember, those elders had children and grandchildren, which are in our time right now. Somebody is related to those people.
mm-hmm,
My own cousin, Steve Harvey, gets on. You heard him on Family
mm-hmm.
yeah. He take the little
Family
money to
Feud.
go do the little Africa shit because he's a sellout. It's the money. It's a money grab. Yeah, so I'll go put a dashiki on. But that man got on TV. That nigga tell you he's a Choctaw Indian.
Mm,
But it
Where you
even
at?
gets deeper, Callie. That's just like when she's talking about reservations, but not knowing the first reservation was in New Jersey, 1758, on the East Coast. So if you
mm,
want to know the history of them Indians, why are you talking to a tribe in Arizona?
She done ran into, listen, man, she ran into some little Native American nigga that's feeding her a bunch of shit. And she thinks and she's so against us. And she's so aggressive, like she all this pro-black shit, all this I'm Africa and I'm so for our people. What? But yet you disrespect the people of this land. When we go back and look at the definition of what an American was, what the definition was, what did it say, y'all?
Carpet color race is found here, now referring to the descendants of Europeans.
I mean, come on, man. Like, it's too many breadcrumbs that lead to the fucking bag of bread of who we are. And listen, y'all, I'm just happy. It's 2025. I'm just happy to see I'm just happy to be alive to see the shift in the tide.
facts.
Listen, let me tell y'all how much the African boat done sunk. It done sunk so much, them niggas done jumped over into the FBA boat. That's how much that African ship done sunk. Them Pan-African niggas, they done jumped over into, yeah, we are from America. We are the first people of America. But we from Africa though. But we still from Africa though. But and then you have to ask them, well, who was them Africans that got here and got reclassified to Negroes and colored? Who were those? Who were those Africans that came over here and got reclassified? Because nobody talks about no Africans getting reclassified. They talked about Indians being reclassified.
Oh, and to the Attentionist Defense League. The Afrikaners, the reason why a lot of people don't know about them today, because you will find them known as the Boers, Boer, of Africa. These are your South Africans. These are the people that come to America that are real African Americans. They're descendants of Dutch. I mean, now what? These people gonna tell these people their history?
Yeah, it amazes me. I mean, for her to sit here and try to tell you about your own fucking tribe is, yo, nigga,
I'm like, wow.
if
Where was you
that
in the
wasn't
meeting?
this, if that wasn't disrespectful as fuck. And I mean, listen, man, listen, y'all. Let me, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna end this live. I'm gonna end this off. You gotta imagine this, right? Y'all gotta imagine this. We're waking up to who we are, right? While they were trying to push us off the land. They've been trying to push us off the land. They've tried everything, y'all, and couldn't get us out of here. While they're trying to push you off the land, make you become somebody that you're not. You don't have no ties to Africa. This is why when you go over there, you end up back over here. Because they don't look at you as one of them, and you don't look at them, and you know, you're claiming them, they're not claiming you. But check this out. You gotta, this has to hurt, all right? For somebody to tell you you're from Africa, right? But now you're in a whole nother land of America, right? And you do all this Africa talk from America, Africa, Africa, Africa. But then you can't go home. You can't go home to your homeland. Why? Because they don't even accept you over there. They don't accept you over there in your so-called homeland. So when you do go over there, they treat you wrong. They rob you. You get what I'm saying? They are trained to disrespect you, to rob you when you get over there. Because they don't resonate with you. You're a foreigner to them. So it's gotta hurt. This has to hurt that you want to be from Africa so bad, but you can't even go home to Africa because them don't like you over there. They don't like you. And they don't claim you. And you go over there kissing their ass and they call you a cactus. They say you a cactus. They call you a cactus. You cotton pickers. That has to hurt. It has to hurt that there's 52 some countries over there on that land, and you don't know which one you come from. But you want to claim Africa, and you can't go home
And
to
think about
who
it,
you
Callie.
belong to.
Add this onto it. We all know that the American Indian schools, boarding schools, they were put together for Europeans to teach American Indians to reteach American Indians, right? So when you go to these HBCs, these HBCUs, isn't these the universities that taught you what an African was?
Yep.
Isn't these the universities that taught you that you should be an African and go to that place? But now, if you look at the charters of these schools, they were supposed to do that from day one. Take your mind and body off your homeland.
Facts. 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 And listen, Vanessa. You say, but America not claiming us either. What do you mean? This is our land. We're at home. Who doesn't claim us? Who are you saying don't claim us?
You
Are
know
you
what I
talking
want
about
to tell everybody who say that, Callie? Leave America and let somebody touch you with your U.S. citizenship and watch what happens. See, the problem is if we never leave, you don't know. There's an American embassy. There's 190 countries. There's an embassy in 160 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at home. I'm definitely at home. So, you talking, you can only be talking about the government. We're not talking about the government. We're at home with our people. We're at home where we're from, what we know. So these people can't even they can't go to Africa and stay over there comfortably. One example is the brother JT the bigger figure. When he went over there, yeah, you're talking about the system.
Yeah, in America, America is a Spanish word. Again, it's because the broken English we spoke, we say it wrong. So if you was to pronounce it how the Spanish said it, it's America, America. And then once you translate it into English, it means rich
Rich.
mother.
Yeah.
Like Puerto Rico, rich port, America, rich mother, and me is mother. Rica is rich. Again, why are we even listening to English history when they came last? You want to know what happened to America here? You need to study Spanish and French history. The British came here late.
Hmm. And it, you know, and I have to agree with you. I have to I have to agree with you, Bones, when I say, when you said this, you know, Shawty is just a distraction. That's why I didn't really want to earlier today. I didn't want to get on the panel with her because, you know, I don't have no problem with her personally. It's just when she's stuck in this Africa thing and trying to push this Africa this and this Africa that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's cool. If that's where you at, that's where you at. But we all ain't there. But we loyal to the soil over here. You feel what I'm saying? This is where we from. This is where my grandmama from, my granddaddy from. Their parents are from here. It don't go back to Africa. It just doesn't. Or it hasn't at this point. But you can't make us because you want to be a part of this so-called story that they fed y'all. You're going to make us all go back across the water. But as I was saying, this has to hurt that you can't go home. Like, even if y'all wanted to go home, JT, the bigger figure, said, he said, man, I went back over there thinking I'm going over there to help my people. I'm trying to help my people. But guess what? Yeah, them warlords and stuff, them gangs and stuff started showing up at them American doors or y'all American Africans started showing up at them doors over there, extorting y'all from over there. Cause they don't look at y'all look at y'all as a money grab over there.
No, because when you go there, you know what they're gonna call you? They're gonna call you an American.
An American. You're a
You
foreigner.
leave here and go over there. They're gonna call you an American. They're not gonna treat you like no African. They're gonna treat you like an American. No, no different. You're an American with dark skin to them folks over there.
But all I'm saying is, if you want to be African, cool, my nigga. But what is your fight? Like, what is your fight? Like, go help your people over there. You trying to tear us down over here on our land. Like, you so pro-black and you so for your people, but you trying to tear us down in our homeland, and you ain't even helping your homeland. You ain't even helping your people over there on that land. But you so for our people. But you want to tear us down for the Asians and the Spanish and the Native Americans. You want to tear us down.
Lisa said something. Our sister Lisa said something very, very deep in the chat to where I think we have problems with these conversations. That some of these people that's coming online, they're young, they're the youth, they're the next generation. But some of us, we can tell you what actually happened in the 60s and 70s and 80s because we was there. Some of us are the children of that time that's talking.
Facts.
And one thing I'm trying to say is y'all talk about division. This stuff is causing division. You can't call it division when we actually know we have a fight on this land and we're fighting our fight on this land. But because you want to be black and because you want to be African, you want to call us, say we're causing division. No, we're in our fight. Our people had land here. Our people are old things here. Our children are old here on our land, but there's somebody else on our land getting our benefits and we're allowing it. Why? Because you call yourself black and African American and you're not standing up as the people that you are on the land. You're allowing these white folks to mingle in with these natives and they're calling themselves the Indians. while you're calling yourself African and you can't even go home. You ain't got no African benefits over there. You can't get nothing. And again, real quick, again, we are in the land of America where you have the right to self-identify on this
But
land.
I'm glad you said that, Callie, because the right to self-identify did not happen until the 1970 census. That was the first time that you can identify for yourself. Before then, the U.S. Marshals identified you. So if your people back then, the label was Indians, they didn't misclassify themselves because they was on Indian land. They was living in Indian territory. They were Indians. Who else could live in Indian territory at this time?
Facts. Thanks. I just don't know why people find it so hard to believe we were the people of the land and we were the landlords of the land. And people just want to be victims and slaves so bad. Like you want to be oppressed so bad. Like that mentality is crazy to me. So yes, she mentioned earlier, I heard her mention earlier, yeah, Callie don't feel like we oppressed. No, what I say is I just don't live oppressed. I don't live that way. I'm not
But the
running
thing
around here
is,
talking about slavery. Oh, because of slavery, we're so oppressed. Oh, systematic racism. Oh my gosh, buck breaking. Oh my gosh, white supremacy. I don't walk around living like that.
again, Callie, because these people don't read. The 13th Amendment verbatim states slavery or involuntary servitude is illegal unless convicted of a
Of a
crime.
crime.
The 13th Amendment didn't abolish slavery, it made it legal. It took it away from me and Callie. We couldn't have slaves, but now the state and the federal government does. Because the moment you go to jail or prison, you are a
A
slave.
slave. Yep. Yep. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, and listen, man, I don't have no ill will towards Neo. You know, hey, we've been down this road before. I stay away from conversations like this with her. I stay away from conversations about Trump with her because, like, we're so programmed, y'all. Like, we're so programmed, man. Like people are just so fucking programmed, and you got. It's hard for me to talk to people that's just fucking programmed.
Let me guess,
Oh,
Callie.
they
Trump hate black
yes.
people, huh? Trump hate
Trump
black
hates
people. That's
black
what
people.
they're saying.
She's a whole Trump hater, and Trump hates black people. I mean, it's just I just goddamn, like look
Well, last I checked, Callie. So how did my melanated behind sit and serve
on the
on
Trump
the presidential, on the Trump
facts.
administration for my community if they so racist?
Listen, man, man, listen, bro. I just ain't, some of these people, man, they just program and they just, oh gosh, listen, it was something I was finna tell y'all too. Shit. So was it the Trump shit? Was it the Trump shit? I just try to stay away from them certain topics, with her, because hey, it is what it is. It just baffles me, how we claim to be so pro-black, but yet we'll go vote for a lady who wants to push Planned Parenthood down our throat.
Oh God, please don't
The
get me started on that shit.
Nah, but this is what I'm saying. We want to act like Trump's so
Yeah,
racist, yet we want to vote for this lady who wanted to push Planned Parenthood. She told you I ain't giving you niggas shit, and and then gonna push Planned Parenthood down your throat. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. But you so pro-black, you so for our people, but you gonna support a fucking Planned Parenthood that was created to exterminate our people. Get the fuck out of here. Like
and that
it's
whole
just
thing when we talk, I think Bones or somebody was talking about the system, and we got to remember, people that look like us, help build the system that help oppress us or keep us
man,
in some kind of whatever belief
Man,
that we. It goes further than what we can really actually fathom.
American Indians had their hands in what happened to us. Why do you think
come
the
on, come on,
first that
come
was
on, come on.
ever acknowledged was them five so-called civilized tribes? Remember, they only called them five tribes civilized. Why is only them five? Because those five tribes turned
They
against all
agreed.
the
Yep,
others.
Yep,
yep,
yep.
yep. They agreed. And let me say this. Slow Bus says, um, Cali, and that's why the other countries look at us crazy. They know who we are, but we don't. Check this out. So I was on vacation in Florida and down in Orlando. I was I was down on vacation in Orlando, and we were sitting in this little meeting before, we got our room and everything or whatever. You know how they do with the little condos and all that. You got to sit in these little meetings. They take your little info and all this stuff, right? So the man, he looked like he was like a Middle Eastern man or something. I think I told y'all this story before, but he sat at the table with us, and as he was getting our information and stuff, he said, so you're black. He was writing the information, and he said, black, and I said, no, I said, I'm American Indian. He looked up from that table and he looked at me. This guy looked like he was like Middle Eastern or like a Muslim or something, like one of them little Muslim guys. He looked up from that table and he cocked his head to the side and he looked, and I was like, yeah, what? Yeah. He said, American Indian? I said, yeah. He said, he looked at my girl. He said, she's American Indian. I said, yeah. He said, wow. I said, what's up? He said, you know who you are. I said, yeah.
But isn't that funny?
He said, yo, a lot of y'all don't know who y'all are. I promise, true story, right hand to the sky, to the God that y'all believe in. Nigga, I promise you. True story. That's how that man cocked his head to the side and he stared at us like, so you know who you are. He said, there's not a lot of y'all that know who y'all are. I said, I know. It be our own that go against us.
I was just about to say that. It'd be the ones that look like you, that want to fight it, deny it, don't want to research, don't want to look no further for themselves, regurgitate.
They stuck in Africa. They knowledge stuck in Africa. They don't. Hey, they believe the white man lied to them about everything except for DNA kit, ancestry, DNA kits, Jesus in Africa.
But think about it. How do they even know about Africa? The Europeans told them. Ain't nan one of them people been over there, took no course, went to no African university. They don't even teach African studies in the place they call Africa because it's a continent, not a country.
Facts. Yeah, and Vanessa made a point earlier. Vanessa had made a point earlier in Break Rooms Live. She said, hey man, listen, if you done been here over 400, 500 something years, it's like, hey, you're American at this point.
If everybody else is, think about it. Everybody else is an American, so why wouldn't you be by now?
Listen, if you was from Africa, and you've been over here, hey, listen, your people done been here for 400, 500 something years. Your lineage go back 500 something years on this land. You're American at this point. And guess what? I heard a continental African say that same thing in an interview. The lady was like, but they're your brothers. He was like, they ain't my brothers. He said, man, listen, they been over there for over 400, 500 some years. He said, they American. Bald head, dark skinned guy in the interview. He was from Africa. That's what he said in his interview. He said, they ain't my brothers.
And he's not lying. I have a Nigerian client that I cut, excuse me. And he tells me all the time, he said, you guys are not from Africa. You guys are already here. Y'all don't come from over here. Y'all don't come from Africa. They don't teach them that. They don't teach them that. They don't teach them that.
Nope. I asked, I talked to this one African. He said it's more of the younger people that they teach that to, who go to who are taught the American studies. He said, man, when you talk to the elders from Africa, they don't teach them that Africa story. And man, I wish I would have saved them videos. I ran across some videos on TikTok where the real Africans they're actually pissed off. They're sick of hearing this so-called slave story. You know why? Because it makes them look weak. It makes their so-called ancestors look weak. Like, y'all just kept coming over here picking up our people like we ain't see you niggas coming off the water. like we ain't
Well,
see
some
the
people know, Cali, because over there they know what really happened. They know slavery was everywhere. You had African nations, so-called African nations, enslaving other nations. You had Arabs enslaving people. You know what I'm saying? You had Jews enslaving. You had the Romans enslaving. They know what was going on.
Yeah, and they teach you Americans to think slavery is all about you in Africa. You in Africa. But y'all, I really want y'all, most of y'all already know, but those of y'all like who kind of new to this shit, yo, check into that American Colonization Society. Check into that Marcus Garvey Black Star Line shit. Yeah, see how that nigga was finna play y'all niggas, take y'all niggas to Africa, and that nigga
Some
ain't even
places he
been in
never
Africa.
been. Some
He ain't
some
even
places he
stepped
never
foot in
been.
Africa.
He talked all that pro-black stuff, but he named everything he did after the white organization that funded him.
Yeah, check into Marcus Garvey talking all that pro-black, all that pro-Negro shit. And look at how he was writing letters to the Ku Klux Klan, talking about how he thinks they're very what did he say? They're the friend of the black man. Some shit he said. Yeah, writing the letters to the fucking Ku Klux Klan, nigga. The Ku Klux Klan? Nigga, Marcus Garvey? Yeah, he was trying to get y'all niggas to Africa, nigga. Yeah, that nigga ain't never set foot in Africa.
Because what is the Ku Klux Klan? Let's be honest. It's a religious
Yeah,
organization.
organization, yeah.
A religious
Yeah, religious
organization.
group.
That's it. They're Baptist Christians.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
under the law
Renita.
of
Yeah,
freedom of
Renita.
religion.
Go look up famous Marcus Garvey quotes. Go type in Marcus Garvey and the Ku Klux Klan and see what he was saying to them white folks.
Yeah, don't believe
Yeah.
the history that our people supported him. No, they was about to take his
No,
head off. Y'all
we
better
had
go back and
there was a whole
read.
movement called Garvey Must Go. Yeah, they was trying to get Garvey the fuck up out of here.
How much indigenous money he embezzled. Oh, but
Facts.
they don't tell you that story, huh?
Facts. Yeah, they be praising these niggas, man. Like, nah, man. But y'all, I'm getting ready to end this live, man. Once again, I'm still at work, so I'm gonna be here till the morning. I just listen, y'all. Like, once again, I apologize for flying off the handle, but hey, man, listen. He said, yeah, that's why Garvey went, because we got rid of, yeah, there was a whole movement, Vanessa, called Garvey Must Go. Look it up. They was getting that nigga. They was not feeling that nigga and all this pro-black nigga. That nigga listen. Now, y'all want to know something? Listen, this Garvey was a big fucking fan of Haile Selassie over there in what's that, Ethiopia? Yeah, he was a big fan of Haile Selassie, right? And then he went over there trying. I mean, he was talking to Haile Selassie, trying to talk that Negro shit to Haile Selassie. My nigga, guess what Haile Selassie told that nigga? Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that Negro shit. We Caucasians, nigga. Yeah.
Because
So
Caucasian does
go
not
look up
mean white. Caucasian does not mean white.
facts. And that nigga looked like Nipsey Hussle, Haile Selassie. He told that nigga Marcus Garvey, nigga, we Caucasian, nigga. Get the fuck out of here with that Negro shit. Go look it up. Yeah, and then Garvey, that's when him and Garvey started beefing. Because he wasn't on that Negro shit. He wasn't on that pro-black Negro shit. That nigga said that
Think about it.
Haile Selassie told that nigga, we Caucasians over here, nigga,
But
in
think about it. Isn't it
Ethiopia.
Egypt, people that come from North Africa, what are they labeled on the U.S. Census? White.
Yep. Yep.
Like I tried
Yep.
to explain to the sister, these are not colors. Even American
Not
Indian, it
colors.
isn't a race. These are your political
Political. Yeah.
affiliation. When I say
Right.
American Indian, my policy is I believe in saving the land. You know what I'm saying? Putting back, nurturing it. That's all it means.
Come on now. Come on, Bones. Yo, man, it's a lot. Now I don't know if this little situation going down Friday, but I'm getting ready to end this live, y'all. But check this out. I'm gonna let y'all have the last words, y'all too. These are my brother. This is my brother Bones, my sister DeWanda. Y'all make sure y'all check out their pages, man. They are also on the Our Story docu-series. We're in season 2 right now. You can go over on the Our Story channel, type in Our Story 1968. Check out the channel, man. You know, we're in season 2. And basically what we're showing you in season 2 is how you went from 1968 Indian civil rights, and in a matter of 9 years, you're going to become an African slave. So y'all just, you know, we just dropped episode 4 this past Sunday. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out, man. Our Story 1968. Just type it in the YouTube search box. I'm going to let y'all have the last word, and I'm going to get us up out of here, man.
All right. Like I said, Callie, always been fun when we get together and do this. And to the chat, also make sure, please, look up the 1953 Indian Termination Act, because you will see how it ties into our story. You will see how these federal policies go hand in hand, year by year, on what was happening to our people in America at this time. So that way you can find your people in the story. Because once you know who you are, nobody can tell you who you are not.
Real shit. Real shit. Go ahead, DeWanda. You got it. You low. We can't hear you, sis.
For enough to
There you
handle
go.
as well earlier too. That's I try not to argue with people about who we are and who we not and whatever, because
Right.
they don't listen to understand. They just listen to respond and refute and and everything else. So just study do your genealogy, and that way you'll know for yourself, and you ain't got to argue with people if they want to feel they come from somewhere. Fuck it, let them come from wherever they come
Yeah,
from.
man. Yeah, that's just where we at
Just
at
fuck
this
it.
point, man.
We know
Like,
who we are. We know what we have to pass down to our children and to our communities, so we can make sure they know who they are.
right.
That's the main thing. They know who they are.
Real talk, man. I appreciate y'all for hitting the panel with me, man.
Real quick, Callie, I
Yeah,
just
go
didn't
ahead.
look at. Yeah,
Go
this
ahead.
the same Bones from the Cab Grand Rising show. So a lot of
Facts.
y'all know me for years and years. A
For
lot of y'all was
years.
with me when we broke down this information. So, like I said, we're gonna keep pushing it and pushing it.
Yeah. This is my brother Bones. Bones been here for a long time, man. But Bones been kicking down these doors for a long time, man. Like, real talk. To my sister Break Room, man. Once again, I'm gonna tell you, keep going, sis. Like you don't know. Like, I am really touched. I was touched when I came in your live today, man, and you was talking about. I could hear the fucking excitement in you from doing your genealogy, because it seemed to me like you were getting some questions answered. You feel what I'm saying? You were filling in some holes to your family, and you wasn't just letting people just tell you anything, man. Man, that shit did something to me. That shit did something to me, and I'm proud of you, sis. I'm proud of my Indian people. Man, salute to all of y'all, man. I love y'all, man. Listen, man, y'all, hey, man, y'all don't even know who I be talking to behind the scenes, my nigga. Like, hey, it might be some shit in the works. Hey, listen, even some of the people y'all seen me bang against before, like, yeah, it's been some messages passed back and forth, man. And I think we kind of done grew up, and we kind of just realizing that this is bigger than our little personal beefs. You feel what I'm saying? So, there's been some little messages back and forth between some of our American Indian Aboriginal teachers and me. You feel what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if you see somebody you probably didn't expect on my channel one day, or me on their channel. You feel what I'm saying? Because we've been doing some slight communicating in the background. You feel what I'm saying? Just basically saying, hey, brother, I ain't got no beef with you. Hey, man, let's move forward type thing. So don't be surprised, y'all. Like, y'all might see it might be some shit that surprise y'all. But these teachers that I'm talking about, me linking up with, they've been here. They've been here kicking down these doors, man. You feel what I'm saying? And some of us have bumped heads before. Vanessa says she got a quick question, real quick. Let me see what her question is, real quick, before I
While
go.
she's doing that, Callie, can I just do a shameless plug right quick?
Yeah, go
If
ahead.
y'all
Definitely.
if y'all not busy on Sunday evening, I think about 7:30, I'm gonna drop the video, premiere video. And it's I'm peeling back the layers of these people who look like us,
Mhm.
who started. It's starting with the HBCUs, but I'm starting with I can't never think of her damn Mary McLeod Bethune Cookman. Her starting with
Yeah.
her and how she became part of the eugenics
Mm,
with Margaret Sanger, W.E.D.
mm.
Boy,
Whoa.
Martin Luther King. I'm peeling back. I'm starting with that, and I'm starting with her, and then I'm going over to I think her name was first name was last name was Besser Lydia or something like that, and then W.E.D. Boy, and then I'll start with Margaret Sanger, because what prompted all of this was I was looking into why why the generations are called what they're called, like Generation X and Z and all of that stuff. So I looked up the first generation. Is called the GI generation, which is from 1901 to 1925. And then I went a step further and I said, well, who came before them? And it's called the lost generation, or part of the orphan train movement, which
Correct.
most of these people come from Europe, Ireland,
Them orphan
Poland, blah blah blah.
trains. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Margaret Sanger, that's where her people come. She's Irish, so that's where her people come from. Her parents come from the orphan train movement, and how the government gave them the land. It's gonna be
Come on.
nice. I'm going to be talking about that, and how these people how people who look like us was used to help bring down our own
And
people.
they also use the church in the
Yes.
Yes.
midst of this. They
Oh
use the
yes.
church. Margaret
Yes.
Singer definitely used the church on y'all. You know
Because
what I'm
your
Yes.
first
saying?
school was what? Your first school was the church.
Was the church. That's
Hmm.
it. So if y'all want to tap in on Sunday evening, that's it's going to be like a 5 or 6 part series.
DeWanda, can you drop your
Oh yeah, sure.
channel in the group? Renita, the other channel is, I think he put it in the chat. It's called the Cab Grand Rising Show. That's Bones' channel. And when I tell you, Bones has been here for a long time, knocking down this information, man, like solid information. You feel what I'm saying? Not none of this flip floppy, mixing the dope information, confusing motherfuckers information. Nah, real solid information, man. And he got a slogan: proof is not a problem. You feel what I'm saying?
You
So
better know it, because we will show you the policies. We will bring them up. We can go through them line by line, because once you know, can't nobody tell you no different. If the federal
yeah,
government know, all the records is there. You just got to be willing to do your due diligence. It doesn't happen overnight. But if we all pull apart, guess what? We all get there quicker.
nah, real talk. Hey, Slow Bus, if you scroll up, his channel is Cab Grand Rising Show in the chat. That's Bones' channel. That's Bones. And when I tell you, you can, like, man, like, he gonna slow walk you through a bunch of shit. Truth be told, just put her link in the chat too. So Bones gonna walk you, he gonna slow walk you through a lot of information. You feel what I'm saying? So,
What was Bones again,
oh,
so I can go
oh, oh, oh,
subscribe?
Cab Grand Rising Show.
Okay.
Okay, Cab Grand Rising. Vanessa had a question. Vanessa's question was, I had it up on the screen. What the hell happened? Is there a difference between Native and American Indian? I believe this is her question on the screen.
Well, to break it down simple, all American Indians are Native Americans, but not all Native Americans are American Indians.
So basically, if you're anybody born on the land, it's a native to America. So you're a Native American if you were born here.
Perfect
But
example. This is why Trump is trying to overturn birthright citizenship, because it stops
facts,
illegals from coming
facts.
over here, having a child, and that child automatically is a U.S. citizen.
Come on. Yep.
You understand? When people don't even understand what the fight really is about right now, because you have foreigners taking your place, and you have a government that's really trying to help you if you paid attention.
If you pay attention, come on, balls. But they hate Trump so bad, like They hate him so bad, like they ain't even getting it. They not even seeing what he doing. Hey, you see ISIS running through them fucking reservations, right?
Because a lot of the people are foreigners.
They're foreigners. They ain't running, he ain't sending ICE through the projects, scooping up you niggas. But he definitely running through them reservations because them people is from somewhere else. But y'all hate that nigga so much. Like, y'all, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end on that note, y'all. Let me get the fuck up out of here. But yeah, we're gonna do this again. I thank y'all for showing up, man. And I'm gonna call this a night, man. And we're gonna pull out of here with some anti-everything, man. Y'all have a good night, man.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
First skipped message sent yesterday at 5:27 p.m.
I'm tired of how black men being killed. They done put some respect on our damn name. If the brother in Minneapolis do everything the right way, where is he right now? I don't want to hear do things the right way. You are not going to tell police.
I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me. Why? 'Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens.
Man, I'm anti-dirty cops, anti-bullshit, I'm anti-scamming ass preachers in the pulpit. I'm anti-no truth, anti-full of lies, I'm anti-scared to try, I'm anti-scared to die, I'm anti-poverty, anti-stay the same, I'm anti-hard lies, anti-scared to change, I'm anti-pity parties, anti-excuse makers, anti-lazy niggas, anti-truth haters, anti-praying march, I'm anti-quiet nigga, Malcolm over Martin, I ain't anti-violent nigga, anti-fake woke, anti-unaware, I'm anti-Jesus Christ, I'm anti-church and prayer, I'm anti-false hopes, anti-Holy Ghost, I'm anti-fairy tales, brainwashing grown folks, I'm anti-Jesus letting killers in the church house, and God ain't doing shit, but watching as we get murked out, I'm anti-niggas too blind to open their eyes and see, I'm anti-loving my enemies and apologies, I'm anti-gangbang music, helping kill the youth and drug overdose music targeted to me and you, I'm anti-black cops, silent while they killing us, and black judges hugging the killer, but they ain't helping us. I'm anti-scared to fight, anti-scared to lead. Malcolm said won't be no revolution, cause y'all scared to bleed. I'm anti-no proof, anti-no evidence, anti-niggas not asking questions, just believing shit. I'm anti-begging to the sky with situations, so I trust and I believe in me. I'm anti-belief in God, I'm anti-evil on this earth, hating racism, anti-hate for whites, I'm anti-niggas, nigga, anti-genocide, self-hate and suffering. If it don't help to better us, I'm anti-everything.
The evil that money brings, I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me. Why? 'Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me. Why? 'Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens.
Man, I'm anti-roots, nigga, anti-fake truth, I'm anti-believing the slavery stories taught at school, I'm anti that we all from Africa don't apply to me, I'm anti-Kanye rocking our people back to sleep, I'm anti-granny killers, grandcestors had the truth, I'm anti-monkey shit, I'm anti-Lucy too, I'm anti-letting these white folks tell me just who I am, my granny came from right here, nigga, she was an Indian, I'm anti-getting scammed, anti-getting played, I'm pro-genealogy, I'm anti-DNA, I'm anti-refusing to check in the shit that we was gave, I'm anti-believing the white man and not what granny say, niggas ain't like it when Walker came dropping facts in, he said he wasn't black and he ain't African American, that's real talk, real spill, real life, real deal, I'm anti-hurting us, my mission is to help heal, I'm anti-ignorance, anti-religion shit, shit. I'm anti-cool with niggas cognitive dissonance. I'm anti-lacking knowledge, put us at a disadvantage. Anti-social with niggas fighting for a chicken sandwich. Anti-Flint water, anti-sucker shit. And fuck you to them blacks that's selling out for the government. I'm anti-no planning, anti-folk scamming, anti-no will. I'm anti-low standards, anti-no drive, anti-low lives, anti-low esteem. I'm anti-no pride, anti-wanting to quit. I'm anti-giving up. I'm anti-niggas not helping to lift our people up. I'm anti-hating niggas, anti-lame niggas, anti-6ix9ine. I'm anti-snake niggas, anti-low vibe. Live life, fly high. Some days it's gonna be full of rain, the other days the sun will shine.
It's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings.
That a man was shot and killed inside the chapel at this World Changers Church International. A man, a worker at the church, leading a prayer, opening the prayer service today. And as the longtime member who talked to Karen indicated, there were a lot of people who go to that prayer service on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10. Different people lead the service. But as he was leading the prayer at the start of the service, a man walked up to him and shot and killed him, shot him at point blank range.